Acura MDX, all-wheel drive with technology and entertainment package, priced at $15,495. Also a 2012 Honda Odyssey EX, four-door minivan, sale priced at $12,495. That's Oak Grove Auto Sales, Service, and Body Shop, 522 Oak Grove Road in Kings Mountain. Online at oakgroveauto.com and like them on Facebook too.
The green flag is out. We're underway. Tyler Reddick with a big jump.
Chase Elliott looks below Christopher Bell. They'll go side by side through turn number 8.
Kyle Busch on the outside had some momentum coming off the banking. He'll have to now tuck in behind A.J. Allmendinger.
A.J. Allmendinger will look to the inside.
It's the Bank of America Roval 400 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Sunday, October 13th at 1 p.m.
On Carolina Country WCSL, 92.9 FM, 1590 AM. Online at kdcbroadcasting.com.
Join us for our live Sunday morning worship services on WHS. It's the Sunday morning worship service from Calvary Baptist Church in Shelby, and on WCSL, it's the Sunday morning worship service from First Baptist Church in Cherryville.
A concert for Carolina featuring Luke Combs, Eric Church, Billy Strings, and James Taylor live at Bank of America Stadium, Charlotte, Saturday, October 26th, with all proceeds to support Hurricane Helene relief efforts in the Carolina region. Hosted by ESPN's Marty Smith and Barstool Sports' Caleb Presley. Tickets are on sale now. For tickets and more info, visit concertforcarolina.com. Presented by Explore Asheville.
The going out of business sale continues at Kurt's Premium Outlet in East Ridge Mall on North New Hope Road in Gastonia. Everything, and we mean everything in the store, is 25% off. Cooler weather is on the way. John Deere jackets are $20.75. John Deere sweaters are $13.50. Simply Southern shirts, any size, any color, for $1.95. Pajama sets are $6.49. Adidas hoodies are $15.75. Again, take 25% off throughout the big store during the going out of business sale at Kurt's Premium Outlet in East Ridge Mall on North New Hope Road in Gastonia.
8 big stars, 1 big night. Friends of Don concert and after party. Featuring an all-star lineup of some of Don's Grand Ole Opry friends. T.G. Shepard, Janie Fricky, Mo Bandy, Ronnie McDowell, John Berry, Bailey and the Boys, Mandy Barnett, and Darren and Brooke Aldridge. Celebrating 15 years with a concert and after party at the Don Gibson Theater. It's Saturday, November 2nd. Call the box office for more information. Presenting sponsor is Bobby Gibson and the Don Gibson American Music Foundation.
Good morning. Welcome to another Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin, Chip, Tom, Terry, and JP. As always, we had a fun night of Friday Night Football. The guys are going to talk about it.
You sounded a little bit like, what's the not Daffy Duck? Is it Sylvester the Cat? fun side of Friday Night Football.
Get it out, JB. Hey,
I think I saw a putty tat. I didn't see putty tats.
all right. Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. Tom, welcome to the Madhouse. Chip likes to put gasoline on the fire that is JP.
Just pour it on.
Welcome to Saturday Morning Sports Talk. The Shock Joxx here on KDC Broadcasting.com. We got all kinds of things to talk about today. We got high schools football from last night. Still, some of the scores haven't been reported. I don't know what's going on. Did East Lincoln play anybody? I don't know. But anyway, we've got a lot of scores across the area we're going to get to in just a minute. We got a new top 10. Well, I got down to 15. And we got more of that. Then we got NCAA football. Tom wanted to talk about some type of games. He wanted to pet a quack or duck or strut like a duck or something over there. Then we got
finally play somebody.
NFL.
I won't argue that.
NFL football to talk about as well. But the big news,
Cowboys. That's right.
I don't know what they did this week, but it's probably embarrassing.
Without half the team,
it was probably go
up to Pittsburgh and like this is our town.
How much of a difference has Dalvin Cook made for you Cowboys?
Yeah, none. Not in the world, man.
I need to pull some video if I really if I had a staff, I could pull so much good video.
Oh gosh,
of our bad predictions are better.
None of us would have a job.
But yeah, when we start breaking down these players, it gets worse. We got Major League Baseball playoffs to talk about.
Hold on 1 second.
Playoffs.
Playoffs.
We got Yankees and Royals and Indians and Guardians to talk about. And all kinds of things as well. But good morning, fellas. How are you guys doing? And good to see you again.
Fantabulous. We just got 2 games. I had a chance to watch 2 games in as many days this week. Got to head over to Rutherford County Thursday, work with Richard Martin, checked out the Chase RS inter-county rivalry, and then got to come back over this way and enjoy broadcasting the Cherryville game against Highland Tech. Cherryville's shutout win against Highland Tech last night in Rudisell Stadium, along with Brian Free. So that was a fun game to watch. Good to see Cherryville snap the losing streak, get a good solid win, and it was a lot of fun. And we talked about it last night. That was a total victory.
Chip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Tom. Wait for it.
Right. Okay.
We might do this. We might end up doing this twice. Let's do real quick. We'll run down what final scores we have, and I'm going to lean on my veterans here. I'm going to run down the left column. Terry, I think you'll take the center, and Tom, you'll take the right. And then if we have to do this again, we'll do it again. But what I see, man, we might have to zoom in and take a look.
So I'm on the right.
Correct. You are right. Yeah.
Clean over yonder. Well, now that I've
outside.
had West Lincoln speak, now I know where I'm.
You're probably outside.
But I'll start here on the left, and then Terry will take the center. And yep, Tom, you are on the right. RS Central and Chase played on Thursday. RS defeats Chase 41-26. Lincolnton defeats West Caldwell 63-6. Cherryville shuts out Highland Tech 42-0 last night. Burns shuts out Thomas Jefferson 61-0. It's Crest with the win over North Gaston 42-6. East Rutherford 49. Hendersonville 21. Let's see, is that Bessemer City? No, that's Ashbrook. So Ashbrook shuts out Kramer 43-0. Hunter Huss defeats Forest View 44-14. We actually did get some of these scores after midnight last night. North Lincoln defeats St. Stephen's 48-14. Hickory over North Iredell 44-6. South Point defeats Kings Mountain 28-21.
Yeah, and it was Bessemer City over East Gaston 14-13. Bunker Hill, no trouble with East Burke 34-12. West Lincoln pulls out a win on homecoming night, a 14-7 win over Newton Conover. Maiden defeats Bandy's 37-29. It was West Wilkes 21, Wilkes Central 14, North Surrey 42, Surrey Central 7. It was Freedom losing to Alexander Central. Alexander Central wins 30-20. High Brighton 21, South Caldwell 20. Statesville 26, West Iredell 0. It was Asheville Irwin 20. AC Reynolds 14, and
we don't know if that's a final,
maybe.
Terry.
We don't even know if that's legitimate. I looked at WLOS, which is the local news affiliate for. And I'm sorry to interrupt you, Terry, but I looked at the local news affiliate WLOS's website last night. Their Friday night football games doesn't even list this game.
Because
So I'm not
because what I heard from a pretty reliable source that AC Reynolds just had their first team meeting the other day that this game was not played.
Okay.
Somebody probably put a score somewhere.
Well, it's
and
been
that-
up all week on all the scoreboards. That's
And-
why it's
yeah.
on ours.
And
And then
some-
last night the game was being updated.
There- somebody-
it got
Yeah.
updated until it's 20-14.
Somebody put
Wow, wow.
several updates on Max Preps, like
Correct.
there were score updates going.
Somebody might have been kind of screwing around,
Yeah.
but because I heard that 45 of the 41 schools now have power, but that's not the main issue. It's water.
Yes, sir.
They're going out and drilling wells. Every school in Buncombe County, all 45 schools, is now going to have their own well for backup water. Just takes some time because only like 11 or 12 of the schools have water.
Yeah, I texted Dad last night during the middle of the post-game show brought to you by Full Throttle Power Sports, and they and Dad's like, he says, Chip, nobody in Buncombe County's playing. He said they just don't have water.
Right.
They were posting it. Somebody
Yeah,
was.
somebody was.
Terry,
somebody
you
was
got
having
one more
fun.
score? What-
Yeah, go
what
ahead,
you got?
Terry. Sorry.
I was just wondering. I was just sitting over here.
That's all me. That's
but
my
anyway,
fault.
Lake Norman Charter defeats North Surrey 22-10, and I do feel for the people up there. I do every day because I mean we're not in that type of situation, and I don't know what I'd do if I was up there.
All right, on the right, it's Mountain Island defeats Christ the King 34-7. Community School of Davidson blanks Winston-Salem Prep 51-0. Bishop McGinnis defeats Pine Lake Prep 34-14. Corvian smashes Carver 53-24. And was that Mount Pleasant? Okay, Mount Pleasant defeats Union County 43-21. Tomorrow it'll be Mountain Heritage versus Avery
Like
County.
today.
Well, today, that's right, Saturday. Got my days mixed up. Thank you, Terry. And now, what happened to my scores?
Hold on.
Nobody needs you to say anything.
Murphy, would you be quiet, please? Did anybody bring something like an iPad to keep him busy? All right. Murphy over Robbinsville 14-7. Drone and Madison, we don't have a score. Rosman and Owen says next, so I guess that's next week. Cherokee over Andrews 27-0. East Wilkes defeats Elkin 15-10. Hayesville over Swain County 12-7. Glad to see Hayesville and Swain County because I know they're in the extreme western part of the state, and they were able to play. So Swain County's got a pretty strong football tradition. If you ever go out there, there's signs over there, the Maroon Devils. So glad to see that they're actually able to play.
The far to your point, Tom, the far western tip of the state actually is doing. They've recovered decently because they were kind of on the left side of the storm. That portion actually kind of reopened pretty much.
And on our thing, they've already extended the high school sports and football for another week. So, for people who do not know.
All right, we got one highlight to show you guys. I don't know if y'all got this last night. I got at least one. I got one highlight from last night. The highlight of the night, last night's games, actually. We're going to go over to Crest for this.
Okay, I thought that was what this is.
I don't know if you guys caught this one or not, but the play of the game is going to be a pass. Crest Melton to Hickman here, and see what you guys think. See if you guys saw this one. And I got it on the wrong interweb page there for a second. Here, let's try this again. How about this? Put you over here. Boom. All right. So this is going to be a pass from Melton to Hickman. Now, the only problem is Hickman, you'll see. Tom, I'm going to let you give the play. Did you see this last night, Tom?
Did not.
All right. Also, I'll let you do the play-by-play for this. How about that?
All right.
Did you see this last night?
No, I did not.
All right, here we go. Brock Melton's the quarterback, Tom, if it helps.
Melton is the quarterback.
The wide receiver, if you give me 1 second, I'll give you his full name. It is Hickman, but I want to give you his first name here.
Melton and Hickman.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's see.
It's better than I usually do on Friday night.
Denarian Hickman.
Just going to stick with Hickman.
Okay. All right, ready, Tom?
Right, okay, I'm ready.
Too many syllables.
Here we go.
All right, shotgun running back on a tip, double wide. Prips right, Melton back, pressured, escapes one, lets it go, and it's caught by Hickman. Hickman carried ball like a loaf of bread, and he goes down at the 25-yard line.
All right, Terry. Did you catch that? Tom, did you catch that?
You catching it right now?
See here. All right, he goes, and he caught it with one. Oh, wait a minute. 63 caught it.
53, but close enough. Here, let's go full screen here. Yeah, 53 with a catch here. 6'4", 270 pounds.
I knew he was a big guy. All you had to do is see that.
So that play naturally is called back.
Correct. If you watch the referee at the bottom of the screen, he throws it immediately.
Okay.
So watch him right now. The referee's about to throw it. You'll see the flag come in. Right there.
So he overthrew the receiver. Okay.
Yeah, you can see. I think it's Mike Edwards there, number 2. And then if 53 didn't snatch it like he was supposed to, Terry, and take off like Shannon Sharp down there. We look like Joku is what he looked like because he's bigger than everybody else on the field.
Yeah. Look at him carry the ball like a loaf of bread.
It was like it was flag football. If you ever see anybody play flag,
his hands are probably the biggest wrapped around it.
Yeah.
But I would say one thing. This was the 1996 class reunion, and Mike Stewart came back because I think in 1996 they won the state title, but that was the following fall. But it was good to see Coach Stewart there. My brother went down, had a picture with him. My old football coach still looks good. So glad he was back in town, and glad that class of 1996 had a good time.
The only problem with this play, guys, that I found is that they just gave away their secret end zone weapon. Because, by God, I'd have him down there doing something, wouldn't you?
What did Steve DeGree say last night? He said, if he's not tight end this week, he's going to be next week.
He better be 88 this week, not 53.
Well, I'm trying to figure out how come he's on the line.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
look how big he is.
Terry, he's 6'4", 270.
I could care less.
Well, you know what?
But if you watch the play, what's funny? So, like Steve's the line coach. He pointed out last night he's supposed to let the guy go, then block the corner.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know that as a quarterback in general what y'all guys are doing up front with that. But I do know that he dang released like a tight end on this, not a lineman.
He was they're trying to set up a screen.
Just watch the release now on him, Terry. Now that we know who the ball is going to, he just don't look like he just runs the route.
Yeah.
If you don't know that he is one of the linemen, you probably don't even throw nothing.
Right, the way he called it and ran,
yeah,
I'll be like
nonchalantly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He just caught it and took off. Yeah, it wasn't like an accident. He's not like a big fat lineman. No, he looks like a big defensive end.
I know what I'm doing.
Watch him. All right, so he kicks out the end, turns, and runs. He's in the route. He's not looking to block a corner. The corner's over here. So now he's in the route, and Melton finds him crossing. But we don't know how many linemen are downfield.
But he overthrew his receiver that he wanted to hit.
Well, 55's downfield, too.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, how's that not illegal man downfield?
There should have been multiple flags on this. Downfield, illegal touching. But it was just awesome the way the big man just snatched it, just took off like he was supposed to.
Like he knew, hey, this is what we're supposed to do.
All right, guys, that's it for I do got an update on your top 10, Terry. If I don't know if you want that or not.
I'm telling you, as long as we're in it, I'll be all right.
You might as well put your piece of paper down.
He's pontificating as we speak.
All right, let me see the exact. I had to switch two teams here. Let's see, 12, 13, 14. All right, number 15, North Iredale with 5 points. Number 14, Hunter Huss with 6. Number 13, the Burns Bulldogs with 6 points.
Y'all didn't even get my top 10, Tom. My God.
Number 12, Bandies with 8 points. They've dropped the last few weeks here. Number 11, the Shelby Golden Lions with 8 points. And number 10, the Maiden Blue Devils with 8 points. At number 9, the Kings Mountain Mountaineers with 9. Number 8, the Bunker Hill Bears have 10. Number 7, the East Lincoln Mustangs have 13. And they lose a tie with the Crest Chargers with 13 points. And your top 5 remain the same. South Point 5, North Lincoln 4, Ashbrook 3, Statesville 2, and Hickory number 1 still in your top poll. Remember, South Point's only played 5 games, guys. So like if they had 2 more 3A victories, they'd be tied for second with Statesville.
Who's number 1?
Hickory.
They'll be there for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
big.
I'm telling
big
you.
showdown for South Point next week.
I'm pretty sure. All right, guys, I'm going to let Chip go all the scores one more time, and then we'll take a break here on KDCBroadcast.com and do some more sports.
Wait a minute. Say that again. I'm doing all the scores?
Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure that was announced.
Yes.
Before Tom goes off on me. So, all right. Real quick, RS Central defeats Chase 41-26. Lincoln over West Caldwell 63-6. Cherryville shuts out Highland Tech 42-0. Burns shuts out Thomas Jefferson 61-0. Crest over North Gaston 42-6. East Rutherford defeats Hendersonville 49-21. Ashbrook shuts out Kramer 43-0. Hunter Huss over Forest View 44-14. North Lincoln defeats St. Stephen's 48-14. Hickory defeats North Iredell 44-6. South Point defeats Kings Mountain 28-21. Bessemer City squeaks out a win over East Gaston 14-13. Bunker Hill over East Burke 34-12. West Lincoln 14. Newton Conover 7. It's Maiden defeating Bandy's 37-29. I think that was a comeback win. West Wilkes defeats Wilkes Central 21-14. North Surrey over Surrey Central 42-7. Alexander Central defeats Freedom 30-20. It's High Brighton squeaking out the win over South Caldwell 21-20. Statesville shuts out West Iredell 26-0. Lake Norman Charter over North Stanley 22-10. Mountain Island Raptors 34. Christ the King 7. Community School of Davidson 51. Winston-Salem Prep nothing. Bishop McGinnis defeats Pine Lake Prep 34-14. Corvian Community 53. Carver 24. Let's see. That's Mount Pleasant defeats Union County 43-21. Murphy over Robbinsville 14-7. Cherokee shuts out Andrews 27-0. East Wilkes defeats Elkin 15-10. And Hayesville over Swain 12-7.
If I'm allowed, I can give one score.
Do
East
it.
Lincoln defeats Fred T. Ford 35-0.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you very much. All right. I think we're going to take a break. We'll be right back in just a minute. You're listening. Shock Jock, Saturday Morning Sports Talk, KTCBroadcasting.com.
We're about ready to race on the Roval here in the NASCAR Xfinity Series.
He'll be hustling off that corner at about 170 miles an hour.
Can he get a good run through turn number 7? He'll look to the inside. They'll go side by side through turn number 8.
Daniel Hemrick is right on his back bumper as they start to climb the banking in turn 13.
Sam Mayer coming down pit road, as you guys mentioned.
A drive for the Cure 250 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Saturday, October 12th at 3 p.m.
On Carolina Country WCSL, 92.9 FM, 1590 AM. Online at KDCBroadcasting.com.
Cakes and cookies, toys and gifts. It's the shopping event of the season. The Southern Christmas Show, November 14th through 24th at the Park Expo and Conference Center. Celebrate the 12 days of Christmas, a countdown of Yuletide cheer brimming with festive decor and seasonal magic. Buy tickets at SouthernChristmasShow.com. Online tickets courtesy of Craft Body Scan. Let's go to the Southern Christmas Show.
As our economy gradually reopens, remember to support local.
Know you're doing the right thing and stay proud.
Be a part of the greatest comeback of all time.
Shop local with WhatsUpShopper.com, Carolina Country, and The Boss.
Once upon a time is right now. Escape to the Renaissance Festival, a time-traveling adventure.
Huzzah!
Saturdays and Sundays, now through November 24th.
It's time for the Renaissance Festival. Shopping, food,
men in tights.
Hi.
Enjoy foolish good times at the Carolina Renaissance Festival.
Time travel to a land of legend. Jousting knights, mermaids, fairies, dragons. Oh my!
Join the damsels and brave knights at the Carolina Renaissance Festival.
Eat, drink, be merry at the Renaissance Festival, presented by Pepsi. Tickets limited while supplies last. Online only at renfestinfo.com.
Don't miss the jousting, feasting, and jesting at the Carolina Renaissance Festival. It's a royal blast.
Don't miss the Renaissance Festival, sponsored by Visit Lake Norman. Visit Lake Norman, the lakeside of Charlotte. Huzzah!
Here comes Duke.
He's got it! Touchdown! Down he goes!
Attack the day.
10-5, good night! Hit hard, the ball came out, it slipped out of his hand, and it's intercepted!
Bleed blue.
Wide open! Touchdown! And the Blue Devils walk it off at Wallace Wade!
Listen all season long on your home for Duke football.
On Carolina Country WCSL and The Boss, WOHS.
All right, welcome back to Saturday Morning Shock Jocks. We got NASCAR racing, Major League Baseball, NFL, NCAA football to get into. We're going to start in NASCAR. The Roval is here this weekend. We've got tickets to give away. Tickets to give away for tonight's race and tomorrow's race. Give you packages. How many are tickets? We'll give away sets of 2 and 4. And if you need 3, we'll talk about it. But if you want some tickets to tonight's race and tomorrow's race, it isn't hard. All you got to do is call in, tell us your favorite driver, and we'll get your name, and we need your email address, and we'll get you some tickets to tonight and tomorrow's. Give you a little ticket package to both races. And for the Roval, Charlotte here tonight and tomorrow, Xfinity Series and tomorrow's Cup Series. 704-435-2845. If you want some NASCAR tickets and want to win some tickets, just give us a call right now, 704-435-2845. Between now and the end of the show, guys, you got friends, you want to call somebody, ask them if they want to go. You don't have to rush. Give me a call. We'll talk to JP. Probably I'll talk to me the next minute, but when JP gets back, you can talk to him about the tickets. We'll get you some NASCAR tickets out to you, and just call. You got to have your email address. Everything's is digital nowadays with that stuff. So 704-435-2845. You want some Charlotte tickets this weekend at the Roval here in town. All right, guys. I'll turn it over to Terry there. Let his first comments of the weekend on the racing last week, and how did you like the 4-wide racing, Terry? A little bit of that, and we'll start there, and anything else as far as Talladega. Your thoughts on the race overall in general?
My thoughts on the race, I love the 4-wide, but if you're in the middle, forget passing. You have no chance, or unless you want to make it 5-wide and go way outside, and then you put everybody in danger, and that's what happened at the end of the race. But pass that over.
You might be 5-wide, but you're not going to be very long.
No,
even 3 traditionally. Tell me if I'm wrong here. 3-wide at Talladega, that middle lane's not. You're not going to get much.
No, and that's the problem. Yeah. And at the end of it, what does Kyle Busch do? I mean, they always said if you pull out, hope somebody goes with you. Because when he pulled out, nobody went with him, and he went to the back. And I was kind of frustrated with that, because if I'm going to follow somebody, I'm going to follow somebody like Kyle Busch, because this car was strong all day, And there you go right there. It's showing it. It's 4-wide, and you're in the middle. You can forget it. If you're low, you can't. I don't know whether they still got that in there. You can't go below the line to pass somebody. So that's in there. So you're kind of stuck.
If you're in the middle, it's like being in the middle of the peloton of the Tour de France. You're just along for the ride. You're just. I mean, you got nowhere to go. You got up, down. You're.
But I love the racing. I mean, the only problem you had is you could not pass. You had to stay where you're at.
Yep.
Until it come to the end, and then it finally went down to 3 wide, and then it got to 2. But
well, this is more risky than what traditionally you've seen at the at Daytona or Talladega. I mean, they've
had so many different things. I remember when it used to be, if you would get behind, and I know y'all hated that because I did, is when down there you'd be racing and you'd get behind one driver and you and him would go to the front.
Yeah.
I mean, and I hated that type of racing.
Do you remember the race they did? And I don't know, it was, they were still, I don't know if the car tomorrow had been introduced yet. They were trying to find ways to be safer on the restrictor plate races. And they were also, the big deal was the bump drafting in the corners.
Yeah.
So they did something where, like, apparently, and they showed the in-dash cam where, like, around the speedometer, it would, like, if you got behind a car for too long or was bump drafting too much, like, you'd start flashing.
Yeah.
And they were monitoring every car's in-car dash cam, and if it went from flashing to solid red and you didn't pull off the gas, you were black flagged. Yeah. That was insane to me.
And they did some more on these cars, the little flaps up at the top so they wouldn't turn over. And NASCAR, you got to give them credit because it is about safety. And every time that you go to a different race, they're going to be a bad wreck. I mean, it's going to happen sometimes, but most of the time they're looking at every race. So how can we make this safer? How can we make this safer?
Take the restrictor plates off, boys, and let them run. Let them run.
I don't know, Kevin. I don't know whether them flaps and everything you can put on a car when you're going 230, 240 are going to keep them from flipping over.
They
draw.
flip over anyway.
The challenge.
We say, what are we going to do? Well, might as well. We're going to flip it. Might as well go 230.
The challenge is going to be instead of having the big one, you're going to have just one, but that one's going to kill somebody.
Yeah.
And
that's the only thing that bothered me.
Is this America? Are we racing or what?
Yeah. Well,
Hey,
it is.
come on.
Oh, I agree. I just don't like all these little people who think they know how to drive. When Kyle Busch puts out, you should jump behind him.
We need 900 horsepower and no restrictor plates, and let's go racing. Well, I don't all this changing stuff.
Boogity.
Exactly. Exactly.
Till somebody gets killed.
But yeah, let's run. We'll watch 16 cars within 10 feet of each other, not do anything for an hour and a half. I mean,
I know.
That's your alternative. I mean, how fast? Bill Elliott did what? 212 or 220?
Something
What was
like
it?
that.
No, it was way up there.
Maybe more than that.
So, I don't see the problem with that, actually. And I don't think fans do either.
Bill Elliott was a more quality driver than anybody out there right now.
What?
Well, it's much safer. Terry hates Bill Elliott, Chip. He's an Earnhardt fan.
What?
How many championships Bill Elliott win?
One.
Okay. But he's better than anybody else out there right now. Okay.
Yeah. He's not even better than Kyle Busch.
Oh, I put Busch would be one I would rank up there with him. Yeah.
Well, how many's Logano got? How many championships?
Oh,
I know he's got at least one.
I know he's got one. I think he's got two.
So now we're going to say Bill Elliott's better than Joey Logano.
I'd say Elliott also won the Winston Million. Logano's never done that.
Yeah, they did have the Winston Million. Old Jeff Gordon was pretty good at winning that also.
I think we got some quality out there right now.
No, they are.
But if you say, if you just say, well, just take it off, and then it'd be good. It would be more entertaining. But guys are taking a bigger risk. So if somebody gets killed, what does NASCAR say?
Let me put it like this.
How do you explain that?
It's more entertaining for the fans because that's what they've come to see, and y'all taking a risk. Yeah. But on the back end of it, if their driver gets hurt or killed, like Dale Earnhardt and all did, then it's a whole different thing.
It's a whole different thing. Why didn't you slow them down? Why didn't you put the safety? Why did we do this? Why did we?
But then to Kevin's point, how slow is slow enough to make it real safe?
But now I will say this. When I think of Dale Earnhardt,
hold on. When I see 4 cars going around like that, it looks like you know the tracks at Disney World where they still got the line. You gotta stay on the little. You gotta stay on the little metal rails. That's what it looks like.
Well,
I can't remember the name of the little.
And then
it's like playing flag football instead of real football.
Well,
like I get that, but it's
also and I'm just play devil's advocate on both sides. It's counterproductive because all you're doing is bunching them all together. That's going to lead to more crashes. Yeah. So I don't know. You actually go back to Kevin real quick. What was your prediction on the fastest lap ever in NASCAR history?
It was around 220 or 212.
Well done. Bill Elliott set the fastest lap in NASCAR history at 212.8 miles per hour.
I said 212.8. That's 6. I want to know if that 6 was right too.
It's got 212.8.
I was more accurate.
Once upon a time, it was between Earnhardt and Elliott. I get right. You were either an Earnhardt man or an Elliott man in the early '90s. That was it.
But you gotta respect both of them. Both of them are pretty darn good.
Yeah. And I know when I was getting ready to say a minute ago, it's like Dale Earnhardt, and then he dies over trying to help his people that's on his team. That's what got me. I mean, the way he died. If it would have been just him, he would have been at the front. He would have passed both Michael Waltrip and Dale Earnhardt Jr. If we had to do all that over again.
But and that's something my dad and I have talked about so many times, and just the craziness of the scenario. The one time, I mean, he was the sheriff on the racetrack for all those years, and nobody got in his way. His own quote unquote his own teammates didn't get in his way. But the one time that he sacrificed and he was trying to make sure that his team pulled off, it backfired on him.
Sure did.
We do that one move on the big speedway where he'd go under, back, go over, then back under.
Because I remember, you know, Talladega is where one time he was like in 17th place with 4 laps to go.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
and he come all the way to the front.
His last win. It's I'll still watch it on YouTube occasionally. It's a masterpiece. Sure the only other race I'll watch more than that, the only other ending of a race I'll watch more than that is the Pepsi 400 the year he died. Because Junior coming from 6th that to me is the most emotional race I've ever watched
and
in my life.
He was in the Major League Baseball car.
Yes.
When he come to win it. Yeah.
Oh, I love.
Dylan, is that the one you talking about?
That's one they say it's all.
Is that the one you talking about? Terry admits it. You know,
fixed
when they
race.
let Junior win.
I do think there's things
Terry,
like
open
that.
up your biscuit. See what's on there. I don't know if JP gave me the right one or not. I asked for egg and cheese on mine. I got a plain one.
I think this is plain.
This is plain too.
Mm-hmm.
JP, did you say egg and cheese?
My God, JP.
Gosh, you pay the man to get breakfast and he can't even bring your own breakfast.
Go back and get it.
I mean, I want the egg and cheese on my biscuit. I paid for it.
He walked in there. He was just kind of zoned out, and he said, "Hey, welcome back to Saturday Morning Sports Talk. We're going to talk some more sport." And they didn't know what he was doing, so they just handed him some biscuits.
All right, JP, you got the card. Go get me an egg and cheese biscuit. But so anyway, we're in the Roval this weekend.
Yeah, we're local.
Well, this is what I had in mind.
They put some kind of hairpin turn in it. I heard the drivers whining about it.
So this is what.
Yeah, I mean,
Kevin, if you don't want that one,
oh, there we go. There's Talladega.
I mean, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I want this one and the egg and cheese. I want the egg and cheese
mine.
biscuit. He's gonna mess up what I wanted. I asked him for egg and cheese on my biscuit, so I just told him to go get me an egg and cheese biscuit, and I'm gonna combine them.
Oh,
and make my own. Because God forbid I'm gonna get the right order.
Oh my lordy!
Not gonna happen.
Never mind. Here we go.
Is this mean you're leaving a 1-star Google review for JP
For the DoorDasher. So this is what I see when I see Talladega.
Yeah, there you go.
For you folks are familiar, it's called the Tomorrowland ride at Disney World, where you got the 4 rails wide, and you just drive around as fast as they'll let you fast. You can't go faster.
That's actually
you can't pass
really
anybody.
good comparison.
This is Talladega now. This is restricted
I've
plate
never
racing
thought
at
about
Talladega. I'm telling you, that's what it is.
All I know is I'm stopping and getting off and putting it in another lane.
Look, you can't. They're on a rail. Look, rail.
I can pick that thing up.
It's 4 wide.
I can
did
listen
this.
to Terry.
I've already done this ride. I did this with the kids.
Listen to Terry. I can pick that thing up.
And move it over.
So, look, you got 4 wide controlled racing, Tom. Welcome to Talladega. Vroom, vroom. We'll bump into each other at the end.
I guess I see both parts of it. But,
I do too,
But at
Tom.
the same time, when somebody gets killed, they're going to say,
That's
why
all
did they take
we're
the
doing.
plates off?
Okay, I agree. God forbid someone get killed and hurt. But we do this in football and boxing too. At some point, you take a risk. We don't say, "Well, let's slow the." Do they put restricted? I don't know. Do they put restrictor plates on drag racers?
That's
or
I'm
Formula One cars.
I was thinking
or
the
Indy
exact
cars?
same thing.
Does anybody besides NASCAR have restrictor plates?
It's an assumed risk. It is an assumed risk.
And I would argue in being an IndyCar Formula One car is far more dangerous in exposing than being in a NASCAR, being in a stock car.
Well, it's kind of like, remember the in Pearl Harbor? Look, man, if y'all fly these planes, you're probably going to get killed.
Yeah.
Step across the line if you want to go. And they all did. And I guarantee you they would probably do the same thing in NASCAR. Like, this is the risk. You know, you might get killed.
IndyCar does not use restrictor plates.
I'm looking at Formula One right now.
You might get killed. And, you know, if you do, we're sorry. But, you know, it is an assumed risk, but that's what I'm saying. I'm not disagreeing with you that it's not as entertaining, but now it seems like in all sports, you know, you got the little cushion on the helmet in football, right? Everybody's going towards safer, and so I'm not surprised that NASCAR is doing this, albeit, you know, it's an assumed risk. Take the risk, higher risk, higher reward, right? Higher risk, higher reward, but unfortunately, that risk might cost you your life, so that's what makes it a little more difficult.
Formula One does not typically use restrictor plates, but some classes do limit air intake and displacement, which is basically what a restrictor plate does. I just don't think they do it to the degree that a restrictor plate does on a stock
Formula
car.
One, to me, though, is never really on a lot of tracks that you can go wide open. You go Indianapolis, yeah. You go to Texas, yeah. But some of these other places like Chicago, they don't never fully get up to total speed.
They're designed to corner.
All right, so Terry, I think they use it for a different reason though. Terry, listen to this. F1 uses skid. Well, that's also, yeah. Okay, Chip's right about that. It is weird how they use it. I don't think it's the exact same way. I'm not a car guy, so I'm not even going to try to explain it. So I'm going to skip that part.
Basically, the normal air that goes into the engine, if anybody's looking online, it's basically about the size. Like this is that pretty accurate. You think that's about that size? The restrictor plate makes when you put it covers that area and takes about the size of a quarter.
No, what I'm saying is that Formula One uses theirs differently as opposed to keep it from going faster.
Okay.
Theirs helps theirs keep it closer to the ground.
Okay.
Or it's something with keeping it up and down.
Lower
off the
center.
ground. It's not exactly the. I mean, it probably affects the speed, but it's a different reason. Is what I was just reading.
Okay,
so
I
don't know how to explain it because I'm not that big a car guy. But anyway,
well, I'm such an expert on automobiles.
So
I say that in jest.
So news in Charlotte this week. Of course, Jordan used to own, still owns a percentage of the Hornets, not the majority owner anymore. But so they're suing NASCAR, and I want to see what Denny Hamlin see what he says about this exact stuff going on with them. Basically, Terry, that NASCAR, I don't know if they strong armed them, but they basically said you have until this time. You basically have 12 hours to read this agreement and agree to it.
Yeah, it's pretty quick. 24 hours, I think, is what it was. You had a day.
Now I'm trying to find his comments on the situation, but I still haven't got all the details on exactly.
Me neither, and that's the reason I'm not saying too much about it. I know that they,
I will say this:
a lot of technicalities
in the history of the sport. NASCAR has always been the big bad bear you do not want to wrestle with.
Right after.
Oops, sorry.
Sorry.
Hit that mute for a minute.
But again, as I was saying, NASCAR and the powers that be, the France family, so forth, have always been the biggest bear in the pen that you didn't want to wrestle with. But they might be going up against a global brand and a global icon that might actually be able to make it a fair fight this time around. So I'm curious with Jordan being involved in it, how the dynamic, the optics, the leverage, how that's and I'm like y'all, I don't have enough insight into the details one way or the other. I believe the gist of it, or the bulk of the argument, comes down to these grant, or what I forget what they're called, the grants, or the for each team, basically, that each group that is issued. And those have always been dictated, I think, by NASCAR. They've been granted by NASCAR. And I'm not sure exactly how all that works, but that I think Jordan and his race, they're wanting a little more autonomy or a little more control over some of those, and not just sitting with NASCAR.
All right, here you go. Hit the audio. This is Hamlin. This is the straw that broke the camel's back, so to say. I can need to unmute it myself. All right, here we go. Here's Denny Hamlin talking about the lawsuit.
That was the straw that broke the camel's back, when essentially, you get this document that, by the way, your lawyers just had the first opportunity to talk 24 hours before that, and then all of a sudden you must sign this, and we're done. We're done. When NASCAR put that clause in the very, I'm not speaking out of turn here because I know all these things are now public now. They put in there, if you sign this, you cannot sue us for anything basically that we have done through this process. You can't sue us for antitrust. They took away all of our rights. All of our rights. So at that point we said, hold on, stop. We can't sign this because we know this is wrong. If we do, we release them of any wrongdoing, and they've had wrongdoings. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. When essentially,
that's a different persona than what with Denny Hamlin at the racetrack.
Yeah,
don't you think? That's
but they all do that.
Yeah.
When you sign a contract to rent a car, then basically you sign away like, well, if you get killed in this car, you can't sue us. If you get a credit card, if somebody steals it, runs up the bill, you can't sue us. I mean, it's just, everybody does that. I mean, it's just like people don't realize that in all these contracts that there's always a arbitration clause or something like that.
Read the small little print.
Which says, but even if you read the print, it doesn't matter because you're like, all right, what are you going to do? If you read in the small print that, I think it was like Disneyland got in a similar one where a guy was killed on a ride.
I told you about.
Yeah. And I've seen it, but because he got killed on a ride, well, you can't sue. So
they couldn't sue Tom Because they own
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. They have Disney Plus app, and when you signed that app, it said you couldn't sue the company.
Right, you couldn't sue the company.
So
right.
Somebody died at Disney World, and they said you can't sue us because you watch.
I think they lost. Kevin,
you watch Star Wars.
Kevin, I think they lost.
Probably
I actually think they did lose that one, but that just goes you to the extent of. I don't know. It's just greed.
Here's his comments.
Here's
his comments to the media on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm not really sure and really can't speak to that part of it.
Let's talk about. They ask how they can move forward amicably. Basically, was how he was asked.
But I think that it's been stated in statements by Michael Jordan that he loves NASCAR. We obviously invested heavily in NASCAR. I reinvested what I got out of this sport as a driver back into it as an owner. So certainly we love the sport. Would just love to see change as well.
Jordan Bianchi, The Athletic, your team has invested a lot of money, charters, building, personnel, et cetera, et cetera. With all the commitment that you've made on the financial end, do you feel like those contributions and that investment is appreciated enough by the other side?
All right, answer.
I don't.
Probably not.
There you go. Probably not. There you go. So I do remember seeing one of the comments. I don't know if it was someone from Jordan's team and Lawyer or someone talking about how every other sport is operated in a fair system, not by a family. They compared it, Terry, to WWE Vince McMahon running the operations for himself and his family, and not for the better of the sport, not for the better of anything other than their family's pocketbook. So that's where this is going. Is basically suing the France family, as far as I can tell, whether they're going to be able to have to sell NASCAR or not, or go public with it. I don't know exactly how that's going to work, but something's going to happen, change, because we've talked about this for years. Like, you can't keep doing the same thing as far as these teams without money not being able to compete with the big teams with money. There. And then we were losing cars down into the 30s. We used to have 43 cars, and people telling to go home.
Go home, yeah. Sure.
You had 50 people, 55 people showing up, not 40, not 35 people show up because they got the charters and this and that. And I'm there's a lot of things that, and you almost don't want to blame the family because that's their business, that's their stuff. But like, again, once you get up to the billions and millions of dollars of this stuff, somebody's going to start suing somebody at some point and doing some type of change. And somebody's not going to feel fair about it. The money distribution.
Somebody's going to think they're not getting a big enough piece of the pie. And that's, I think, exactly where the players and ownership or racers and the ownership are going with this. Jordan, obviously, he has experience in other realms of sports, and I'm sure he's coming with that lens as well. I'm curious, you look at guys that came from other, or I think about Roger Penske and his experience with IndyCar, and I don't know if he did Formula One, but and all of his experience, he never wanted to challenge the France family. Now, was part of that? Was he just happy to be on one of the biggest American racing stage? Who knows? But I'm curious his perspective, why he never wanted to challenge it, or did he just think, I don't have enough pull and leverage? Versus Jordan. Jordan's never going to think he doesn't have enough leverage, and he might have a viable argument.
So he probably does. I did see, I think Roush's comments something about them not joining. Something that was just, he's not saying that, but he's not saying that they're wrong, or that Jordan and them are wrong. He was saying that on their end, they're same thing with the time, and there was something they were mad about too and upset about too with some of the stuff.
That I would have an issue, and I understand Tom's point. When you sign something, but you give them a day, and look, our attorneys are going to need a week at least to look at this. All right, that was the family, and I think that was the NASCAR leadership trying to strong arm the race teams.
I just think it's a bad thing that you have to have a name like Jordan to come up and say, I'm going to sue you to get things changed.
I tell you what would have really been.
I mean, if it would have been somebody who your car's not legit and you finish in the 25th and back, and nobody would be even looking at this.
Well, here's the story.
All right, so here,
go ahead.
Let me give you Richard. This is Richard Childress.
These are the folks the veterans who've been there for a long time. I'm curious of their perspective.
About, first off, have you read the lawsuit?
This is Bob Pockerass.
You've been no stranger to going up against NASCAR on occasion. So what do you think about what 2311 and Front Row have done?
Well, we've read it all. I can't comment a whole lot now because I know the attorneys are handling a lot of that. But I will say that the part about we got our DocuSign that evening at 6:37 is when it came in, and we had to sign it by 12 o'clock or we'd lose our charters. I didn't have a choice because we had to sign. I got over 400 employees, OEM contracts with sponsors, and I got to take care of my team.
So, are you happy that somebody is challenging NASCAR, or is that? And do you expect, like, can you join this lawsuit, or because you've signed it, you can't? You don't have the option to join it.
Bob, I don't know how you phrase happy on this. I would just say that, I don't think we can join. I don't know. It's way too early to talk about all the legal stuff. NASCAR hadn't even came back with an answer. I'm sure they're looking at antitrust attorneys. I know they are, and we'll go from there.
And so just finally, like, I assume that you would expect that anything that they get from this lawsuit would be passed to all the teams?
I think it will by the law, but the way we don't have a favorite nation in our charter, which is not fair to me anyway, because everybody should be treated equal. How do I know that they're not going to give somebody a bigger restrictor plate? Yeah. Or how would I know they're not going to pay somebody $20 million more than me? We don't know without a favorite nation.
Tom, what do you think?
Well, doesn't surprise me. A lot of we can't talk. A lot of lawyers speak in there. We can't comment on it right now. But I understand. I understand completely. You want to fight back. When people get a little bit too much leverage, you file your lawsuits and see what you can get. I don't know what's going to come out of it. It can be a little unpredictable in court these days. A little unpredictable.
I want to offer a scenario for Terry, and the second question hit right to the point of this. How much more impactful would it have been to the fans of NASCAR? Now, and again, the fact Jordan's doing this, Hamlin's behind him, and that speaks to a certain level. What if that report was Jordan's racing team in conjunction with Jack Roush, in conjunction with Rick Hendrick, in conjunction with Richard Childress Racing, all band together in filing a lawsuit against NASCAR? The magnitude of that would have sent shockwaves through the sport, I think. But Childress just alluded to it. He, as successful of a career as he's had, running a race team with one of the three greatest race car drivers that NASCAR's ever had, he doesn't have the resources to go mano a mano with NASCAR. It took someone of the global brand of Jordan to be able to try to do that.
But my deal in behind everything, what if it's backfire? I mean, what if it would backfire?
How could it backfire?
Well, I know it's not. Tom, I'm thinking of it like this.
You're talking about repercussions because you sued?
Well,
is that what you're saying?
No, I'm talking about like he said. I'm trying to keep my people getting paid.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and signed it. What if he didn't sign it, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, Jordan, Hamlin, all of them have no job?
I think
Jordan don't have a job.
Oh, you know what I'm saying.
But I get Jordan and Hamlin.
I'm just messing.
Jordan and Hamlin understand that ultimately this sport is driven by the drivers. It's driven by the personalities. It's driven. They're the face of this sport. As much as the France family wants to organize things, the more drivers, the more race teams that you can get involved in this, or you can get on their side, you can't cut them out. The worst case scenario, the nuclear option is that they're banned. Okay, you're just diluting your sport. You're diluting the talent at that point.
So you're saying you're going to ban somebody because they sued you?
I don't. Well, it's NASCAR. Careful.
All right, this weekend we're giving away tickets. Tickets. If you want NASCAR tickets, call JP right now to this weekend's races. Tell him your favorite driver and give him your email address is all you need to do. Tell him how many tickets you need. KDC Broadcasting, 704-435-2845, 704-435-2845. We got NASCAR tickets for tonight and tomorrow. We got packages for tonight's race and tomorrow. Call and tell JP how many tickets you need here at KTC. 704-435-2845. Xfinity practice today at 10. Qualifying for the Xfinity race is at 11. NASCAR practice is at 12:30. Qualifying at 2. And then tomorrow, we'll go over tomorrow as well. Is Sunday on this? Is there not Sunday on this schedule? Oh, y'all can see it. I can't see it because of this thing.
Oh, yeah.
How do I get there? Oh, there we go.
Yeah, boom.
I'm having a mouse problem.
What time's today's race?
You waited to me to click that button to say what time's the race.
I was just watching you.
3:30.
Sure. Okay.
Coverage on KTC 3 o'clock.
He's checking on you.
Bank of America Roval tomorrow. Coverage begins at 1 o'clock on WCSL. The race is scheduled for 2. We've got Bank of America Roval at 2 o'clock. So if you guys want to get out there to the race, got tickets here at KTC to give away. Terry, you got a favorite before we go? Not Kyle Busch. Who's the favorite to win this? Tom, you got betting odds over there?
I'm going Christopher Bale.
I haven't looked at it this week. I've been off my betting app this week. I've lost so many times.
It's about
I know I'm going to be on. I know I'm going to be on bad picks because of my parlay. I got 2 out of 3.
I didn't get them cut this week. You're going to be doubled next week. You're going to be doubled next week.
But I knew like one of the ones that bad picks. I can't remember. Like I hit 2 of the underdogs. Like I hit Wake Forest beating NC State. Sorry, Terry. And I got SMU over Louisville. And I can't remember who the third one is. I think I picked Washington or somebody. They got blown out by like 30 points. So I was like,
top 4 drivers and odds are Larson, Reddick, Bell, and Gibbs. Terry.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any pick out of that?
I said Bell.
Oh, okay. You did. All right. There you go. All right. We'll be back in a minute. KDCBroadcasting.com.
Where's the beef?
Well, it could be in your refrigerator or freezer. If you win the Where's the Beef contest, we'll be giving away $1,000 in beef from Morris Supermarket and Broad River Hams in Shelby. You could win up to $1,000 in beef. Register today at one of our local participating merchants, including at Flooring America on Slater Street in Kings Mountain, at Dallas Express Pharmacy on Huffman Street in Dallas, at Holly's Flowers on East Graham Street in Shelby, at Carfair Auto Sales on the Bessemer City Road in Gastonia, at Innovative Pools on East King Street in Kings Mountain, at Full Throttle Power Sports on Indian Walk in Lowell, at Arnold's Jewelry on South Lafayette Street in Shelby, at Hillbillies Barbecue and Steaks on South Main Street in Lowell, at the 3500 Grill on Highway 18 north of Shelby, and at Shelby Hardware on South Lafayette Street in Shelby. Register today. The drawing will be held Friday, November 1st.
Where's the beef?
Join us for our live Sunday morning worship services on WHS. It's the Sunday morning worship service from Calvary Baptist Church in Shelby, and on WCSL, it's the Sunday morning worship service from First Baptist Church in Cherryville.
8 big stars, 1 big night. Friends of Don concert and after party. Featuring an all-star lineup of some of Don's Grand Ole Opry friends. T.G. Shepard, Janie Fricky, Mo Bandy, Ronnie McDowell, John Berry, Bailey and the Boys, Mandy Barnett, and Darren and Brooke Aldridge. Celebrating 15 years with a concert and after party at the Don Gibson Theater. It's Saturday, November 2nd. Call the box office for more information. Presenting sponsor is Bobby Gibson and the Don Gibson American Music Foundation.
The going out of business sale continues at Kurt's Premium Outlet in East Ridge Mall on North New Hope Road in Gastonia. Everything, and we mean everything in the store, is 25% off. Cooler weather is on the way. John Deere jackets are $20.75. John Deere sweaters are $13.50. Simply Southern shirts, any size, any color, for $1.95. Pajama sets are $6.49. Adidas hoodies are $15.75. Again, take 25% off throughout the big store during the going out of business sale at Kurt's Premium Outlet in East Ridge Mall on North New Hope Road in Gastonia.
The City of Cherryville is proud to announce the new community gym is under construction and will be opening in November. Located on East Academy Street in Cherryville. Watch for the grand opening. And some new restaurants are coming, and now the Cherry Pit is open and the 5 Spur Steakhouse will be opening soon. Mayor H.L. Bean, City Council members Jill Pewitt, Janice Hovis, Gary Freeman, and John Abernathy, along with City Manager Brian Dalton, invite you to visit Cherryville. Cherryville, where life blossoms.
Built upon a solid foundation of cast iron and steel, the Kubota L-Series is part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup rated #1 for reliability. They feature powerful Kubota diesel engines and easy operation. The durable Kubota L-Series. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive on Oak Grove Road at the Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Ken and the guys. They're talking about some more sports. And I'll let them do that because I know nothing about it.
Hey, give me that point to the camera again, like you did last night there, JP.
Oh, hold on.
Okay, that's enough. Thank you.
Man, for all the ladies at home watching,
what was that for?
For all the ladies at home watching,
you should have seen he was
sorry.
He was flirting with the camera last night.
I'm so sorry, ladies. I'm so sorry. All right,
we just lost our last.
I'm going to pretty much turn over to these three for a minute and let them talk a little Major League Baseball because we got plenty to talk about. Royals, Yankees, Guardian Indians. We got to fit our way to say that. Guardians. Tell everybody's online that they need to come out in the Indians jerseys in the next game and say bump in Major League Baseball.
They need to have Tom Berenger.
Let's make our own movie right now.
Need to have Tom Berenger and Charlie Sheen
Wesley
and
Snipes.
Wesley Snipes come out.
Well, you don't need Charlie Sheen out there. But
Well,
anyway, I'll turn it over to you guys. Tom or no, Terry, how about you first? Yeah. Since you're no longer involved.
I didn't pick us.
To be fair, he did.
I know you did.
Uh-huh. I mean, really? I mean, I'm not disappointed. I hate that we couldn't go on. I mean, Bobby Witt sat there. He knows what's got to happen here. We got pitching. We can play with anybody with pitching, but we don't have all the hitters. And I tried to tell people, I had somebody wanting to bet me the day of. They were hollering at me saying, hey, I bet you $5 on them Yankees. And I'm like, man, I'm not going to bet you. You got better squad over there. And when you had to face Soto, Judge, and Stanton all in a row.
Stanton hitting the way he's hitting right now.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough, and it's tough for anybody, but I thought we did well. I mean, Judge didn't really beat us. I even said he had only hit one. If he hit any, I don't think he hit any.
He didn't. He hit a double in the clinching game,
but it's funny, and this is what I was going to tell for Chip. Your two leading hitters of Major League Baseball, Bobby Witt, 2 for 17.
Yeah,
Aaron Judge, 2 for 13. That's what I'm talking about. When you get to the postseason, it becomes pitching.
And plus, you see things that you don't usually see, like your top closer's not going 2 batters; he's going 5.
Yes,
you're going to see things that you don't.
And I keep going back because one of the little articles on the Atlanta Braves when they won it, Greg Maddux threw a pitch to somebody, and I forget who it was, but anyway, he clobbered it. And then they come up after the game, and the catcher come to him and goes, "Why did you throw that? I told you, and you kept shaking me off." And he says, no. He says, you don't understand. In about 4 months from here, we're going to play them in the postseason, and I'm going to throw him something different because he's looking for that.
Yeah.
And he says, it's not going to bother me here. So everything they do in regular season is not what you're going to do when it comes to postseason. And for me, I mean, we played the Yankees. We got outscored 14-12. In the series. We was in every game that we played. We had opportunities. I mean, but hey, it's not a down year for the Kansas City. We went from 56 wins to 89 wins.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's all I look at. If you're going to say, hey, I'm going to put money in it like they did this year, they put $47 million in just in the pitching staff that they brought in for Kansas City. So now go get me a couple hitters to go with us. Soto's coming available. I'd love for him to come over there.
Everybody would love for Soto
to be behind Witt. I mean, and Perez.
But not only did they win 89 games, they also won a playoff series.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I'm not disappointed. I mean, let's like last week when we sat here, I knew we didn't have the guns to beat the Yankees. And that's what I did not pick because I did not think we'd win.
One thing, if you're looking at New York and definitely from the American League side, we all determined they were probably the favorite team to make it to the World Series. They won this series up until Game 4. I would say they won this series without their A game. Cole did not have an impressive Game 1. He grinded through, but he was not an ace. He did not pitch an ace performance. Game 4 he did. Game 4 was impressive. But Game 1 was not impressive. We just talked about Judge. The two guys that these lineups were based on, Judge and Witt, didn't hardly show up.
No.
But the Yankees found ways to win outside of that. Giancarlo Stanton hitting the way he hits right now makes this lineup that much deeper.
It does.
He hit better. He was batting in the 6th spot or the 5 spot in the order, hit better than the 3 and the 4 batters the entire series. So, yeah.
The only thing that I would set back, and from watching this series, Chip, and you always say umpire makes a bad call. In game 1, that call at second put us down 1 game. And I'm not saying we might have lost the game in extra innings.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when you can see gap and New York gets this call and they've got the same view as everybody in America's got, and they going to call him safe when he really was out, that kind of bothered me. But on the back end of it, I mean, if you didn't have instant replay and you're going by what this guy saw, you go with whatever the call was and you just go on. But when you have instant replay and you can go back and watch and watch and watch, and everybody that's watching it goes, whoop, there's a gap. He was not on the base then, and he made the tag. What would have been the difference if Kansas City might have won that game?
Yeah.
And then when we win game 2, all of a sudden we're up 2-0.
Yep.
And the whole series changes. But, hey, I'm not mad. I mean, I'm not. I'm just saying. You take that.
I ain't Don Digger.
But you take that game, and what if that call had been different and Kansas City's up 2-0, and the Yankees are on the verge of being put out of it instead of them winning 3-1?
Right.
All right. Well, my question is, I'm looking at the brackets here. Is this like, the NBA where we're just going to do all this arguing and fussing, and just like in the NFL, we're going to do all this talking or whatever, and the 2 top seeds with all the money just going to win?
We'll see.
Is that what it is, Tom?
I'm already wrong. I picked the
Yankees
Phillies
and Dodgers no matter what because we bought it.
That would laugh, but I predicted the Phillies and I was wrong.
And it makes 2 of us.
Something that.
But as a Midwestern, and you too, Terry, you look at the Final Four. Detroit's not a small city if they win, but the other 3, you got 2 New York teams in LA.
You've got the 3 largest.
So what am I supposed to do with my Cardinals hat? I got coach is our problem, but you guys had to spend $50 million to make the playoffs this year, and our guys are penny pinching, but and there it is.
You've
New
got
York and LA.
The 3 largest payrolls right there.
Like it's.
Well, I got all kind of people sending me stuff now saying Detroit's going to win.
Well, see the thing about the Detroit,
and they're still in it. They can.
But Detroit is playing well at the end of the season, and that I can't remember. There was a World Series team a year or 2 ago won 88 games. Was that the Phillies? And when they won the World Series, they only had like 87 or 88 wins. It's like if you get hot at the end of the year, like Detroit did.
Yeah. Correct.
I want to say they finished do we need a break?
In a minute.
Okay.
You're fine.
They need, they had like a 30-10 record down the stretch, and they brought all these young guys up. They had a guy pitching against Cleveland in that last game. He was called up to the bigs September 23rd.
Yeah.
Like he was their number 1 pitching prospect. Here he is in an elimination game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just one of those things where they've just pulled up a lot of young guys and got a lot of momentum, and they're out there. I mean, think about it. You just got pulled up from AAA. Okay, I'm just going to let it go, man. What's the worst that can happen? I get sent back for another year. Okay, whatever.
And
I'm going to just play with no fear, play with no conscience.
And Cleveland's the higher ranked team right now, but from what I read, they're going to go into this game as the underdog because the Cy Young favorite for the Tigers is the starting pitcher.
They can't hit.
Yeah.
They cannot. They got shut out 20 innings in a row, and Fry bailed them out with a 2-run homer in that last one. And Clase came in there and shut them down. The only way Cleveland wins this game, they got to scratch out a run. And hold them on. I mean, it's just
you're playing at home. That's a plus.
I'm just telling you, watching Cleveland. I tell you what, though, the thing was, and like I watched the last few innings of that game, is that Fry hits a home run, 2-run home run, takes the lead. You know what he does his next at bat? He bunts, safety squeeze, and got that run in. So I mean, it was they had to scratch out that win there, but I'm telling you, it's gonna be tough. So when you get shut out 20 innings in a row in the playoffs.
Oh, I know.
It's tough.
Well, I mean, plus, for the Yankees, give them credit. They took one of our guys that we brought up, Weaver, and look at him now.
Yeah. The best sign for me with the Yankees right now is their bullpen. That was the biggest question mark going into the playoffs. Haven't given up a run yet. Now I just gave the announcers jinx going into the championship series, but the bullpen has done their job. But I think Kevin is trying to help Tom out here in Game 5.
Oh my goodness,
Chip, don't worry about it. Y'all keep talking.
Okay.
Golly.
Well, I saw JP's signal. I thought
I feel sorry for your kids on Christmas morning.
Oh, they know what they're getting already.
They already know what's in the box.
You're assuming that they get presents.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just as a homer, I'd like to say Cleveland's going to win this game. You know, it's 50-50. They're a slight underdog at home. It's kind of 50-50. So I just don't know if they can hit enough to. Now, how many days rest though? They split these games up to where you can give your guys extra rest. You know,
Cole won't be able to start Game 1. Are you talking about if they make it to the championship series?
I'm talking about
or just today?
I'm talking about Detroit's pitcher today. I wonder
he's on full rest. Yeah. He's on full rest.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I mean,
I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if I agree with that because it's not really. I don't like
how they're splitting it up.
It's not really like if you want to see.
They gave Cole another opportunity. Yes. What it done?
Yes.
Yeah.
To come back real quick.
If you want to see who the better team is, shouldn't I see all 5 pitchers or see that guy on shorter rest? Shouldn't I see that if it goes 5 instead of saying, okay, we're going to give your starter extra rest? Instead of saying, okay, let's see who's really better. Let's see who those 4 and 5 guys are. Because that ace can't pitch every day. But I'm looking at this, I'm like, they're giving a day's rest after Game 1?
Right.
Why don't they just do 2, rest, 2?
Yep.
If there's a 5, we're doing it the next day.
Any 7-game series back in the day was 2 at home, day off, 3 away, day off, 2 at home.
Yeah.
That was.
I don't understand.
But when the Yankees now playing, it was play, skip a day, play, skip another.
I know. I didn't understand.
It needs to be consistent.
Man,
it needs to be consistent.
Seriously, I did not understand that, and I'm like, now you got to face your number 1 guy twice on full rest. I'll be honest with you, I just didn't like it. It is what it is, though.
Right.
It is what it is.
Tom, I got you. We've got a way to fix the Cleveland Indians at bats.
Oh, okay.
It's Jobu time.
They are sick. I cannot hit curveball. Straight ball, I hit it very much. Curveball, bats are afraid. I asked Jobu to come. Take fear from bats. I offer him cigar and rum. He will come.
You know, you might think about taking Jesus Christ as your savior instead of fooling around with all this stuff.
Shit, Harris. Jesus, I like him very much, but he no help with curveball.
You trying to say Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball?
Okay, Harris.
That's the best line in movie history. All movie lines, no matter what. That line right there. Are you telling me Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball? That's the best writing. Whoever wrote that line, thank you.
It reminds me.
The funniest thing is that's the Allstate guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the funniest
That's
thing.
President David Palmer from 24.
Yeah, it's just
Are
funny,
you
man.
telling me Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball?
That reminds me when professional golfer Lee Trevino got hit by lightning. They asked him about it. It's like, Lee, what are you going to do next time you go on a golf course with a thunderstorm? He says, next time I go on a golf course with a thunderstorm, I'm going to hold up a 1-iron. Even God can't hit a 1-iron.
Is that Joe Dirt in the corner?
No, that's not David Spade.
That's like Joe Dirt.
Look at that hair, though.
Well, Tom, I'm trying to help you.
He don't grow in right here.
I'm just telling you, man. It's gonna be. It's very bad to steal Jobu's room. But the other one is where he like the locker room empties, goes in here up your butt, Joe.
Well, right here.
Rum sitting around out here with this group.
It's very bad to steal Jobu's rum. He's very bad. Bats.
Oh, I didn't show the ending. I thought it show the end. Yeah, didn't he have some? What happened to him after he stole it?
I remember he goes like a bat came out of somebody's hand and hit him in the head or something like that. Yeah, so he got hit with a like flying bat. It's like up your butt, Jobu, and he stole the rum and then went out there. But the other funniest thing is he goes, "We got here. I got Bengay here. I got Vagisil here. I got Vaseline here." He goes, "I ain't got an arm like you, son."
I ain't got spider tack, but I've got the precursor.
It's a great movie. movie.
It's
really a
it's
great
good.
All right, we got to get a break. Predictions. Anybody want to chime in on the Dodger? Not Dodgers, but the Detroit Tigers and the Guardians here on this one.
And the Guardians have not been hitting to Tom's point, and they're going up against the best pitcher in the American League this year. I think that they're going to have their work cut out for them. I pick the Tigers.
You are taking Tigers?
I'm going to take the Tigers with their ace on the mound.
I'm not. I'm saying that Cleveland has found a way to win all year long. When you think they're going to lose, they turn somehow and win. They win today, but they win by 1 run in the 9th inning.
It's going to be tough. They've struggled against good teams, and Detroit's hot, but at home, I think Cleveland gets it done. At home. Come on, don't let me down. Not another Cleveland heartbeat. Please,
my goodness, it's been 1948. Come on, give them a chance.
I've heard they traded for LeBron to try to help out with that.
Very funny, Chip.
All right, when we come back, we're going to talk NFL football. Here is Terry Bradshaw this week.
He's an idiot.
Well, yeah, Tom. You might feel a little bit. You shouldn't have maybe spoke a little bit. You do have a daughter before I play this.
You got any sons? No, but I know her. No, I got 2 son-in-laws, one little old bitty dude and another one big old tall skinny dude, and I got another one trying to be a son-in-law. He ain't in the circle yet. You know what I'm saying?
He might not make it.
No, I told him today, you don't even have a foot on the line yet, boy.
Is he here?
Yeah, he's right over there. There he is, right there. Yeah.
Well, who's he dating?
He's dating this one.
Me.
This one.
Oh, how long y'all been dating?
We've been dating like 3 months.
Yeah, he ain't in the circle. I don't know anything about him, be honest with you.
You don't know nothing
about him.
Why is he here?
She wanted to bring him.
Okay.
I made him fly coach, though. He ain't in the circle, man. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's funny.
Oh, I apologize. I'm sorry, man.
Oh, this my favorite daddy, man.
We'll be right back. KTCBroadcasting.com.
We're about ready to race on the Roval here in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. He'll be hustling off that corner at about 170 miles an hour.
Can he get a good run through turn number 7? He'll look to the inside. They'll go side by side through turn number 8.
Daniel Hemrick is right on his back bumper as they start to climb the banking in turn 13.
Sam Mayer coming down pit road, as you guys mentioned.
A drive for the Cure 250 at Charlotte Motor Speedway, Saturday, October 12th at 3 p.m.
On Carolina Country WCSL, 92.9 FM, 1590 AM. Online at kdcbroadcasting.com. Now is the best time ever to buy an Empire gas log from Today's Pro in Shelby. All display models have been discounted. There's a great selection to choose from. Check out the displays today, all on sale. And it's the end of the pool season. Save up to 50% on remaining pool supplies in stock. And remember, Today's Pro in Shelby for appliance pickup and delivery. See Today's Pro, 1325 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Like them on Facebook, too.
Once upon a time is right now. Escape to the Renaissance Festival, a time-traveling adventure.
Huzzah!
Saturdays and Sundays, now through November 24th.
It's time for the Renaissance Festival. Shopping, food,
Men in tights.
Hi.
Enjoy foolish good times at the Carolina Renaissance Festival.
Time travel to a land of legend. Jousting knights, mermaids, fairies, dragons. Oh my!
Join the damsels and brave knights at the Carolina Renaissance Festival.
Eat, drink, be merry at the Renaissance Festival, presented by Pepsi. Tickets limited while supplies last. Online only at renfestinfo.com.
Don't miss the jousting, feasting, and jesting at the Carolina Renaissance Festival. It's a royal blast.
Don't miss the Renaissance Festival, sponsored by Visit Lake Norman. Visit Lake Norman, the lakeside of Charlotte. Huzzah!
Here comes Duke.
He's got it! Touchdown! Down he goes!
Attack the day.
10-5, good night! Hit hard, the ball came out as it slipped out of his hand and it's intercepted!
Bleed Blue.
Wide open! Touchdown! And the Blue Devils walk it off at Wallace Wade!
Listen all season long on your home for Duke football.
On Carolina Country WCSL and The Boss WOHS. Grizzly the Greeter says now for a limited time, get up to $850 off the price of a Liberty building from Blessed Buildings and Tiny Homes in Cherryville. Get $500 off when you purchase a 10x12 building, $850 off when you purchase a 10x14 building. But again, offer ends soon, and ask about their shed trade-in program. Find out more at libertyshedstrade-in.com. Blessed Buildings and Tiny Homes, 2268 Lincoln and Highway 150 East in Cherryville, right across from Ace Hardware. Online at blessedbuildings-tinyhomes.com. Like them on Facebook too.
And we're back on Saturday More Sports Talk with Kevin and the guys. They're talking a little bit more sports.
All right, JP, welcome back to the show. I did miss some tweets for our NASCAR stuff I did want to bring up and go over some of those real quick, have a little fun. So if you do any, well, we'll go over that here in just a minute. Let's go. First of all, a big shout out to Greg Biffle for his efforts this week in the with his helicopter and helping out up in the Western North Carolina Mountains.
Yeah, great job.
He's the Grand Marshal this week at this week's race. Here is I can't
we
completely
can
play that. Let's see. Let's go with all right. So hit it now.
Okay.
This is Kevin Harvick.
Let's remember Ryan Blaney talking about being able to have his car towed back so that they could at least look at
Assess
it and
it,
the team make the determination. At this point, just tow all the damn cars back, put them in their pit stalls, and if you got to tow them again, fine. It might have taken less time than trying to see if somebody could get going, if somebody's air jacks would work, or this guy's in the grass. Well, shit, we've wrecked enough cars that if we don't pull all 28 or 25 or how many cars are sitting in the infield, hell, I don't even know if we can have a race. So, you know what? Let's tow this one back. Let's tow that one back. Let's leave this one here. Like, whose decision is it? Just by the decisions that NASCAR made, we could completely screw up the whole point system and the way that this all worked out because of who they decided to tow and who they didn't decide to tow. Terrible, terrible situation.
So that's what we talked about last week with the towing and Rodney Childers being upset about that, and of course
you're here, Kevin.
Kevin was his driver for a long time. Here's the things left behind at Talladega. We got
yes,
here.
oh great,
Atlanta Falcons jersey. What a race weekend! Thanks for having us. Shake and bake, rise up, your friends the Falcons. So they knew somebody was going to find that. We got more couches out of Talladega next to the porta potty. That's where Tom would be partying right there. It's Tom's spot right there. How about TVs that didn't make it through the weekend?
Oh, gosh.
I don't think that guy's favorite driver won.
Well, that's probably when Kyle Busch pulled out and nobody went with him.
Oh, that's the Kyle Busch fan?
It's Terry's TV.
Somebody's still out there out in the field.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
is that a safe?
It's a smoker.
Yeah, it's a smoker.
Okay, I was like, what?
How does that get left behind?
And I was getting ready. So I guess you got too much money.
I'm not even sure what happened here with the police tape around the tire. We had a billiards table.
How about that?
Oh, that's awesome.
Got left behind.
Left everything.
It's still there. I'll drive down and pick that up.
Well, it looks like the game ended a little early because there's a lot of beads on the table. So I'm not sure they finished the pool game.
Uh-huh.
That's why the pool table got left behind, Terry. The beads are still there, too. Oh, we got mattresses next to the porta potties. There's your spoon and some chairs. Tom, you ready to go to Talladega?
I don't think I'd care to go there.
You could just take all your junk in a truck, go down there and leave it.
Well, they're having a yard sale down there this week.
Yeah, you know what? That's an excellent way to get rid of an old. I guarantee what they do is they go to Goodwill and just buy an old couch and just go down there and just leave it. That's what they do.
There's a deer. Where did that hang during the race?
I don't know. There's your NASCAR tweets of the week for us. Now let's see if I got any more. Yeah, that's just the 4 wide I was going to show you. All right, college football for you guys.
A normal week last week.
Well, I got a bunch of stuff from last week I didn't get to tweet. We didn't get to talk about because we didn't do some of this. Go through the Twitters, but let me see if I can get to a couple of things real quick. We did do that guy. Did that. Y'all saw the cool helmets. Well, we talked about that. How about this one, Tom? Here's for you Ohio State fans.
Arlington, Texas, and Miami, Florida. Preference is given to the top overall seed. So Texas essentially kind of gets to pick where they play. Texas is not choosing to go to South Florida when they can play in their backyard there in Dallas. So Texas would play Bama in Dallas. And I need you to understand that that means even though Ohio State is the number 2 overall seed, they would be forced to go to Miami, Florida to play Miami in a semifinal game. Does it seem right? Does it make sense? Of course it does not. But in this unique circumstance, that's the way it would work.
There you go, Tom. Y'all could be playing a road game at Miami in their house in a playoff.
Well, yeah, but before we get there, I think we need to kind of chill out a little bit. There's a lot of football to be played.
Right.
I mean, Ohio State's got to go to Oregon, to Penn State. They got to play Michigan, which beat them 3 times in a row. So I mean, there's a lot to digest before you get there. But in that scenario, yes, it's unfair.
It's just
crazy.
crazy.
They don't want to play in a cold weather city, so they won't play in Columbus.
It's just crazy that could be a reality. That potential scenario is even on the table.
But it's college football.
That
So
shouldn't even be
I mean, you don't think college football can outstupid itself? Just give them another year.
So hold my beer.
They'll outstupid themselves again. I mean,
what about the Commodores being in the college football semifinal though? Come on now.
Might be.
Here they go.
Chip, that's what I'm talking about. See, I listened to that game, and when Vanderbilt got the ball one more time, what typically is going to happen in that game is Vanderbilt's going to be scared out of their mind. They're going to run the ball 3 times. They're going to punt, and Bama's going to go down and score a touchdown. That's what I thought happened, but they didn't. They took it to Alabama on that last drive. So that's what I'm saying. That college football is so unpredictable. You don't even know if you're going to be in that situation.
Right.
And I know these guys get paid money to come up with makeup stories and all this stuff. But let's play the season, and then we'll analyze the matchups as they unfold as we go down.
All right, I don't like Nick Saban.
Neither do I.
But dang it, this is the best comeback I've about ever heard. He's been burning people on some of these shows. Here's him talking to one of his ex-coaches on the Saturday show.
Against the sturdy Golden Bears. Wicket 82. Okay, now don't wicket the elbow. Let's get out of this video before we don't need to see that.
All right, I'm trying to talk to this coach.
Tell the story, Steve. What
All right, listen to this.
On that play, we got to beat Cal to go to the Rose Bowl 1990.
That's
Because
wrong.
I want to play in the Rose Bowl. We weren't going to lose to Cal. Didn't lose to Cal for 4 years. 2-0 in that stadium right up the road. So I am biased, though, when it comes to the Cal fans, because whenever I played in that stadium, it was sold out. They do a great job. But I also wonder how many of these people are here because they didn't get into Stanford.
Shots fired. Jeez.
Now wait. He just said that to the Cal fans, right? He said, "Y'all didn't get into Stanford." Now listen to what Nick Saban says to this coach. Now he ain't got nothing to do with either one of these.
He ain't got a dog in this fight.
But he knows this coach and his background. And oh my God, the smoke he throws at him. Hold on, listen to this.
If it was so great at Stanford, why did you have a girlfriend here at Cal?
Let's go back over that again.
I also wonder how many of these people are here because they didn't get into Stanford.
Shots fired. Jeez.
I got a question for you. If it was so great at Stanford, why did you have a girlfriend here at Cal?
All right, Tom, you got to give him credit for that one.
Yeah, I will. that he knew that. I wouldn't have as a representative of he's working for ESPN, right?
Yes.
Who? Saban? Yeah.
No. The bald guy.
I'm not sure.
I would if he's working for ESPN. That's not something I would have said. But Nick Saban, he probably knows. You know, he's this type of guy that just knows everything about everybody anyway. So.
That was funny. Watch your girlfriend's here.
Speaking of, his legacy just got even further confirmed. If it didn't need to be, ever had as bad a loss as what
The
Alabama
good
had.
response would have been, "Smart girls don't like me." Nick.
Kalen DeBoer just totally set himself up for
That's
failure
what I
last
did.
week. Yeah.
So, how about the greatest punt of all time? Did you guys see
I
this?
did see that.
Let's check this out.
I
Tom,
want to see it.
can you do this? Well, we'll get to it in a second.
That's the game I lost,
Watch
Missouri.
this.
Yeah.
And the second bounce, watch this one. Starts going and then serve.
Wow.
It's on a remote control.
Hey, this is the game. This busted my parlay because I was doing well and I turned this game. It was like 35-7 or something ridiculous.
What's this?
This one starts going and then serve.
That's like Plinko on Price is Right.
That's called luck.
Tom, what was you saying again? This busted your parlay. What'd you lose? $5?
What'd you bet, Terry?
I mean, my God.
What'd you bet, Terry? You know why you don't bet, Terry? Because you're not smart enough. You're not smart enough to know how to download a cell phone app. That's why you don't.
I mean, my
And if you
goodness.
did have it, you couldn't remember your
Tom.
password. So that's why you're not.
You lost
betting
$5.
on there.
All right.
It was an $80 bet. It was $80. 5 paid 80, and I lost it on that game.
I'm sorry, America.
$5.
Yeah. I'm sorry, America.
What'd y'all bet?
I lost
What'd
$5.
y'all take? y'all don't know how to download the app. Y'all come on this show act like you know something, but you don't.
guess.
You don't put your
Teenage
money
girl
where your
over
mouth.
here. Y'all can't download the app.
Y'all can't download the app. It's true.
Texas is fired on all cylinders.
He's gonna post a complaint on
Careening
social
toward the
media.
date with destiny in the SEC championship game with the one team that Texas has never been able to figure out. Folks. Texas is 3-8 against Vanderbilt, and Vanderbilt has the last win between the two. They have a one-game win streak.
1920.
They haven't lost to Texas in 96 years.
There's a reason for
Vanderbilt hasn't lost to Texas in 96 years. They're 8-3 against them, boys.
You
Be
take
ready
Vanderbilt.
to bet, Tom. What's in your parlay now,
That's
boy?
right. Take Vanderbilt.
It's funny because
just beat Alabama.
my parents were watching that game, and my dad doesn't watch football very often. My mom does. It's kind of weird. So she's pulling against Alabama, and then she's like, "Text, are you watching this game?" I said, "No, we're listening. We're driving. This is amazing. This is the greatest thing ever." And I say, "Oh yeah, it's pretty good. I'm glad when Alabama gets beat." Then she texts, "Your father wants to know where Vanderbilt is." So it was just funny. I was like, my dad's almost 80 years old. The Google machine he just doesn't use. So I was like, "Dad, it's in Nashville, Tennessee." He goes, "Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know where Vanderbilt was." So congratulations to them, though. And congratulations to
congratulations
them for having the cojones to throw the ball on their last possession.
Yep.
Because I'm like, this is what every huge underdog does.
Yeah, run
Oh, let's just
does
run
that.
it up the middle
State
3
does
times
that.
and punt. And that's why they always get beat. But that's not what Vanderbilt did. And on that drive, they just smacked Alabama in the mouth and got like 2 or 3 first downs because the announcers are like, "Whoa, they're gonna stop here. Bama should get the ball back with about 1 minute and 20." No. Vanderbilt did not give up the ball. I mean, it was just
Why do you
amazing.
have stuff like that happen, Tom? And I that game right there, I was very impressed with what Vanderbilt did. Alabama just got through beating Georgia.
Well, Nick,
Then all of a sudden you sitting here like, there's no way Vanderbilt can win this thing.
Dude,
but they took it to them.
Because their defense, Terry, their defense is not as good as it should be.
All right,
It's
Tom,
not as
Tom,
good.
So you understand the betting. If Vanderbilt, if Georgia State beat Vanderbilt by 4, and Vanderbilt beat Alabama by 5, would the Panthers be favored over Alabama by 9? Georgia State beat Vanderbilt this year.
The thing that
Not last year.
The thing that we don't consider is that these are still kids, and it's just unpredictable.
It's
I mean,
true.
they're
It
just
is true.
Kids are unpredictable, man. It's just like Terry, you're in a school. I'll have a class on Monday, and it'd be the best class. Everything's going good. Everybody, man, this is the best class ever. You come the next day, and you're like,
Now I
I'm
wanna
ready to
go to
kick
sleep.
every single one of these kids out of my class. I mean, 'cause it's just And then I have to remind myself they're just young people.
What did y'all do between yesterday and today?
That's what I'm saying, man. It's just like it's just tough. It's just like young people, man. There's something's wrong with them. A TikTok brain, something not right. But I mean, it's just they are so all over the place. That's how that happens, Terry.
It is.
You know what's wrong with it, Terry?
That's how it happens.
Too many parlays.
Georgia State.
That's right. Yeah.
Georgia State held Vanderbilt to less yards than Alabama did.
Golly, that's crazy.
Not just the points. It was.
But there's something else. What are the matchups? What was your game plan? Who did you discover?
You're playing
It's
Vanderbilt.
Georgia
It's Georgia State.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yes,
Guys,
it does matter.
Is Georgia State Division I?
Can't believe I'm hearing this right now.
I don't know what they are.
What you said? No, you
They're
don't
less
know what
than
they
Gardner
are.
Webb, as far as I know.
No, I think Georgia State's
are.
Division I.
They
They're
are.
Division I.
They are.
So that's one thing I would say is Vanderbilt is a Division
Aren't
I
they in
team.
the same
Right, they're a
conference,
Division
Georgia
I
Southern
team.
and all?
They're playing another Division I team, and albeit you should be the Spirit team and
They're in the
and
Sun
brawl them
Belt.
out.
They're in the Sun Belt.
They got App in
That's what I was
a
saying.
couple weeks.
Yeah.
And we smoked them, and then.
App's good. App's going to beat Georgia State.
When we beat Georgia State.
So I'm just saying,
I'm having App over Alabama, all kinds of stuff. We're favored by 20.
They're still a Division I team, and a lot of it is coaching, matchup, game plan. You guys can't just throw all that out. It's not backyard football, guys. It's still that stuff still matters.
But
It's
based
Georgia
on that
State
mentality, though, Georgia
playing
State should be able to match up
Vanderbilt
against
to
Alabama.
play Alabama. When you mention them three, they're not in the same category.
You're right, but it's like I said.
I
a
like
lot
your
of it-
original argument better that just things change from week to week.
They do. But also
is
things
college
change
football,
week to week, like game plan, matchups. We found this guy can actually do this. I mean, we don't know every single thing about these teams, but you discover things. I mean,
I don't know if we can beat them. We're in last place.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
You're due, Kevin. You're due.
We're in last place. I don't know if we can pull off the.
who has Georgia State played beside?
They're next to last, but at least
Okay, Georgia State's next to last. Okay, so
they lost to Georgia Tech and Georgia Southern. They beat Chattanooga and Vanderbilt, so they're 0 in the state of Georgia, undefeated in the state of Tennessee.
Tennessee's weak.
Yeah, I told y'all about that.
Tennessee's weak.
Yeah.
Of course, I've been on the Tennessee bandwagon all year, and they
Yeah.
got
You
beat last
have
week. They got beat.
They
So
did.
I'm going to go ahead and
Arkansas finally beat
I'm
somebody.
going to take ownership for that.
You were starting to sway me, too. I'll be honest with
Wait a
you.
minute.
They were
Georgia
playing
State-
well,
Yeah,
Chip.
yeah.
Georgia State
They were
lost to
playing
Georgia
well.
Southern and Georgia Tech, but then beat Vanderbilt, who beat Alabama,
Well-
who beat Georgia.
Yeah.
So would Georgia Southern right now, Terry, be favored over Georgia by 40?
No, it's not like that. Because I want to tell you something else. If you don't believe
I'm trying to
what,
do the math.
if you don't believe what college football's doing, look at your top 25. You have 3 teams that's lower than 12th that are unbeaten. They're not going to get up there on account of the teams you put in your top 12. College football does not want this to happen. They're getting ready to have a disaster. If Tennessee loses again, if Alabama loses again, all of a sudden you're taking teams that you want to be in this championship to being out of it. And there's where the problem's going to come in. Because if you go on down in your top 25, these 3 unbeaten teams, BYU's one of them.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh's one of them. I mean, right there they are, Indiana. And the college football does not want that. So that's how come they're way down there. They're not going to get pushed way up there unless some other teams get beat. And college football is like, oh, no, this cannot be happening.
Because they're going to have the argument to sit there and say, we did everything we could
Yes,
within
to
our
be in
power
that
to
top
be in
12.
it. Yeah. And
Two words, guys. Transfer portal. I'm just telling you. It's making it more competitive. You look at Ohio State and Oregon, both of them are starting transfer quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You know, Oregon's got the kid from Oklahoma.
Yep.
We got the kid from Kansas State. I'm just telling you, man, it's a different ballgame.
I think the transfer portal will end up making the NFL better because the quarterbacks are going to get the playing time that they
Right.
deserve.
You know, that's a good point,
As opposed to
Kevin,
being to
possible.
being stashed away on rosters for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow had to see it. I mean, how many people have to sit at Ohio State or have to transfer out? Cam Newton had to leave. Like
Ewers transferred out of Ohio State.
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
like,
but you're asking for that
I think
because
I think at some point it'll trickle up into the NFL.
it'll
Not this
it'll
year,
make
but
younger
a couple years.
quarterbacks better prepared, I would argue.
I agree with that. Because what would Saban tell guys? okay, look, this is your learning period. You're going to have to wait the next year to start.
Except,
where they don't have to do that no more. No.
The only exception is maybe DJ down there at Florida State. I think transfers made him worse.
Yeah, that did make him worse.
See, and that's the thing, like, so as a non-diehard college football fan, I look at the top 25 like Terry does and see, well, Pittsburgh's an ACC school. They're 5-0. Indiana's a Big Ten school. They're 6-0.
But you're not
BYU's
relevant.
5-0. That's what I'm saying. Hold
that's
on.
what I'm saying.
BYU's 5-0. Iowa State's 5-0. Well, they're in the same conferences as Texas, Ohio State, Oregon, Georgia, Penn State, and Miami. So why aren't they ranked in the top 10?
That's what I'm saying. College football does
I hate
not
the
want
ranking
this.
things. I've always hated that.
And
that
you
system.
look, Notre Dame, where they at? Number 12.
Let 'em
we
lose.
got to stay them, keep them in it.
Even though they got beat at home by Northern Illinois.
They shouldn't be. Exactly. I mean, go back. They should be below Pittsburgh and every other team that's got a loss. Well, that beat by Northern Illinois, and Alabama just got beat by Vanderbilt. Where are they at right now?
Let's give
that come out yet?
Let's give a scenario here real quick. Let's say.
Are you kidding me? But how do you? They just never get punished. That's what I'm saying. Like, if your name is sorry, Tom, one of these you don't get actually punished, you'll drop to worst. What, 7th?
7th.
We got beat by Vanderbilt. 7th. 7th. Northern Illinois. 11th.
No, it's not going to happen.
Northern
They
Illinois
don't
and
want that.
Vanderbilt. Let's beat them, and they're 7-11.
What if Pitt
why
runs
not
the
earning
table?
something? Indiana's 6-0. Have they not earned more than Notre Dame has earned? At 6-0 in Indiana, and Notre Dame.
And you know what? What
earned
Indiana did too. They went out to the West Coast and won. Now, granted, against UCLA, what happened to Michigan when they went out to the West Coast? You know what's happening to these traditional Big Ten teams when they go out there, and then what happens to the West Coast teams when they come to the Midwest? It's been tough sledding. So that's the situation that Ohio State's in. But I'd say give Indiana credit. You win across the country and you got to win. That's a big win for Indiana.
But what the voters want to do is sit there and say, I know you're not better than Ohio State. But that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying they've earned that spot to be ranked in the top 10 right now. Not that they're going to lose at Michigan in 3 weeks. Who gives a flying whatever?
They might not.
That's what's wrong with Pittsburgh.
They might
They're
not
not gonna
lose
give
at
them
Michigan in 3
credit.
weeks. They might not.
Yeah, they're not going to give Pittsburgh credit, even though they're not Miami.
Well,
we don't want
the
Pittsburgh.
ACC ain't going to get any type of credit for anything.
Well, that's what. Here's the thing. All right, let's say Pittsburgh. That's my scenario. Let's say Pittsburgh runs the table. They're undefeated, and I don't know how the breakdown.
And they'd have to beat Miami.
And then Miami's Miami. Well, okay. Let's say in that championship game, let's say Miami wins, but
that's fine. That's how college would want it.
Let's think they beat them by like 3. Let's say it's like a field goal difference. Miami's in the playoff. Pittsburgh's going to drop off a cliff.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's
You're
not
telling me a
nowhere in.
3-point difference means they just disappear.
That's what happens.
That's crazy to me. Also, speaking of blast from the past, Eric Dickerson's got to be loving life. SMU's back in the top 25.
SMU's about to win the ACC.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that.
I think somebody said that last week that SMU couldn't go to Louisville and win. I think he's sitting right next to me.
You need to read the article.
Sorry, Tom, I didn't have a bad pick.
I know you don't, but it's on film, so you can't deny it.
You need to read the article about SMU that ESPN did a few weeks ago. Give them time. With NIL, the Pony Excess is ramping back up.
They're not going to win.
Well, give them time. Be careful. Dallas-Fort Worth area is pouring money into that program.
SMU, California, Stanford, none of them will win the ACC for 5 years, at least 5 years.
Be careful.
Terry, they might do it this year.
No, it never happened.
Well, who's going to win it this year?
Because the ACC is finally going to play them.
Timestamp that.
Yeah.
I think Clemson's going to. They're coming on.
Last week, Tom goes from last to first.
Wow.
He goes 6-3.
Well done.
He goes to 41-23. I went 4-5 last week. I fell to second at 40-24, and then everybody's in this. Chip's right behind us. He went 5-4. He's 39-25. Only a 2 games difference separating top from bottom.
Almost one of us has a betting app, and the other 2 don't.
One of you has a betting app that keeps saying, I'm not betting no more. I'm losing. Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
I'll put my bet in here just a little bit. Just got to figure out who you pick, and then I'm going to pick the other team, so that's guaranteed win.
No, I'm going to go from second to first this week.
All right, so y'all said Louisville game. Is that what you was talking about, Tom?
Louisville, yeah.
All right, Chip, hit the audio on this.
It's on.
Parlay, I like that. They're a road.
That's all right.
SMU also in my parlay. I like them. Pretty
See
good
what Terry
showing
says here.
against Florida State.
I like them too.
I mean, they're a 7-point dog on the road. Louisville's good, but you know what? If you want to go money line, this is a good game to go money line in. I think that SMU's got a good chance to win this.
Yeah, I'll go. I'll agree with you. I'll go with the SMU. Terry, who you got?
Well, there's no way that's going to happen. When you go into the ACC, you're playing Louisville at Louisville. Forget it. You
SMU
lost.
is in the ACC.
That's what I'm saying. Louisville is. That's what I'm saying. You're going to lose by SMU. You'll have number 2 loss.
Okay, that's a win for us.
Yeah, we got
that. Would you care to retract your earlier statement now, Terry?
I don't remember ever saying that.
That's
absolutely voice recording of me when I really was not.
It was AI.
You're fake news.
That's what I'm saying.
Artificial intelligence
did not happen. Yeah, that was AI Terry right there. That was AI Terry.
All right, how about real quick before we do the picks? The G8 conferences being proposed as a part of a private equity deal to create a 72 power team league with the basically the group of 5 teams or whatever. The 64 remaining eligible teams would be able to be promoted into the power league. I guess that would be like Gardner Webb and such. But they'll have basically regulation in this league with the teams. So here's kind of a look at what the conferences would look like in this proposal. So App, Charlotte, ECU, Coastal, I don't know what that KS is. Georgia State, Georgia Southern, and Old Dominion, it looks like, listed in that. What is that symbol? Where are you?
Which one?
Right above Georgia State, right here. SK, right here. This guy right here.
Kennesaw State.
Kennesaw State. Mm-hmm. Never heard of it in my life. So welcome.
Kennesaw.
Come on in our conference and take this butt whooping. welcome, Terry. But the NIL guys, you guys were mentioning that, and I told you from the start that's going to be the death of Appalachian. There's no money up there to compete. Charlotte's going to take it and move with it real quick, Tom. At some point, if you guys are smart and hire the right people, you need to hire the right money man to get it done. Talk to the local businesses. This is the banking capital.
Talk to Brian Moynihan.
Banking capital of America.
Please keep Tepper.
I was about to say,
out of it.
Can't y'all get Tepper involved and get some money out of him?
No.
And then y'all get y'all a real quarterback.
Get Tepper out of
Barstool
North Carolina.
Sports. Dave Portnoy said he is going to be putting up $3 million a year for the Michigan quarterback NIL deal.
Who is?
Barstool Sports. Dave Portnoy. He's a Michigan grad. So he announced this week that he will be adding $3 million to whoever's going to be playing quarterback for Michigan will be being paid by them $3 million. So that's all you need to know as far as if you go to Michigan. At least you're getting that $3 million plus on top of whatever you're getting from everybody else.
Then
so, like app and stuff.
Then it's professional football. You know what I mean? It's no longer amateur football. It's professional football.
Well, it always was. The employees weren't paid.
Yeah, true.
The main employees weren't paid. Everyone else at the stadium was paid. All right, let's pick some games. You already picked some games?
Do it.
All right. How about first game of the week is Penn State and SC. We'll pick the one above it, too. It's pretty close to 10.
Boy, doesn't Franklin need a big win? Franklin needs this win bad. Going out to the West Coast. Tell you what, USC hasn't looked very good in a lot of their games, but I'm going to go with a mild upset here. USC hold serve at home. Penn State have to go across the country. Maybe too tough for them today.
No, wait. Okay, I'm going to disagree with that. I'm going to say Penn State. They travel west and they pull out the win.
Tell you what you got.
Well, my whole deal is every year I come in here, I always say Penn State ain't no good, and Paterno's gone, so
he's been gone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And Penn State has been nothing since. So this is not going to be anything new. Penn State loses out at USC.
$16 for a ticket at the Coliseum to see this
really
matchup. $369 if you want to see the Red River rivalry. I know David Potter's wanting to listen to this. Texas going to Oklahoma today. This is a 15-point spread, but I thought it was close enough for us to talk about. Oklahoma got a chance to win this one, maybe. We're going to go with the Chipster to start us off on this one.
Oh, you said Oklahoma's got a chance to win this? Not so much. Let's go Texas.
I
This is a big SEC matchup.
I know.
Traditional SEC matchup.
Didn't Oklahoma lose last week?
They're
Ain't that their own
4-1.
loss? I
They
think that
got
was
they
a
got
loss.
beat. Tennessee beat the crap out of them.
Yeah,
didn't they?
that's what I'm saying. So, Oklahoma, I hope you can show up at your home stadium, but the Longhorns will be sticking you all over the place. But I'm taking Texas.
The Longhorns will be sticking you all over the place. That's so stupid. I almost want to pick Oklahoma, but I'm going with Texas. Okay, I'll sit up.
Yeah, you're fine.
He does. He keeps moving. It's okay. You have to adjust it every week.
He shifts around.
Yeah.
Well, earlier he was down here in the corner.
No.
He's like,
I'm not going to move him. On that.
I mean,
he's like a little mouse.
It's a wonder. I mean, most of the time it's like the first 10 weeks he can stand up like big and strong like Ohio State, and then when you get to week number 11,
He's
when championship, he falls down.
He's just trying to shut his
trying to get out of here.
Elliott jersey. It's doing as much job as the other one is right now. All right, let's see. Pittsburgh favored by 3.5 at home against Cal. Tommy?
There we go again, going across the country.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tommy, real quick. I didn't mean to interrupt you. You're not the ACC expert. This is a Cal. I thought this was a Big Ten matchup. Terry, you're the ACC expert.
Right.
Who you got? I'll let you go first in this one. You break down this big ACC matchup.
That's right. Big old little Cali coming over here to Pittsburgh. It's how
Tom, I'm
it
making your
works.
job easy.
That's right. 22nd ranked Pittsburgh Panthers go to 6-0 after they just got through whooping them UNC Tar Heels last week. Carolina had a chance though, but couldn't finish. So that's why North Carolina State does. But this will not even be close. Pittsburgh rolls over Cali.
Well, Tom, after Dennis talked about Crest for a minute on that one, who do you got in this matchup between Cal and Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh riding high, a little pressure on them. But California, who gave Miami a pretty good game, goes to Pittsburgh and defeats the Panthers.
Nope.
I guess that leaves you.
Give me Pitt.
All righty. Next up, we've got BYU, 3-point favorites at home.
The juggernaut.
Against 3-2 Arizona.
I'll do this one first. BYU goes to 6-0. They rank 14th. Nah, keep on moving up that ladder.
I'll go against the grain a little bit. You know, these teams that are ranked kind of in the mid, they're thinking about getting into playoffs, a little pressure on them. Arizona coming in there. I think Arizona gets the win.
And you lose.
Go ahead and say that. That's what you said about Louisville SMU.
All the disruption last week's got to make all the prognosticators and planners for the playoff a little nervous. I'm going to say there's some outside influence here. Arizona gets the win to bust up BYU's undefeated season.
Appreciate y'all. Now, next one.
How bad is Mississippi State?
They're not
good.
Not great.
I remember a few years back, maybe about 7-8 years ago, they were like number one in the country.
34-point spread.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're
we're not betting on that one.
No.
Oregon, Ohio State.
Oh.
2 versus 3.
B, welcome to the big house.
Ohio State is favored by 3, going to Autzen Stadium in Oregon for $192. All right, Tommy, I'll let you break it down, and I'll let the other two make
you
fun
know, a
of
lot of, like what the pundits are saying, a lot of things. Oregon, red zone turnovers. Ohio State has scored on 20 touchdowns on 21 of their 22 red zone possessions, but who have they played? You know, so I mean, that's a question. Listening to the Iowa game last week, Ohio State had 2 turnovers, not in the red zone, but they had 2 turnovers. That game was 7-0 at halftime.
Mm-hmm.
So if you come out there and lay an egg out there in Oregon in the first half, you might be in a little bit of trouble. The defensive line for Oregon's very good. Ohio State's offensive line, based on QB pressures, is number 1 in the country. They've allowed the fewest quarterback pressures. So there's a lot of things. And then the old Will Howard, has he been tested? I think the kid's name in Oregon is Gabriel. You might want to correct me there. Okay,
No, you're right.
Has he been at his new school? Have you been tested? Now, this is definitely a bigger test for Howard. You're going in one of the toughest places to play in America. Toughest place to play in America. Oregon hasn't lost a home game since 22. So, I mean, there's a lot in both these coaches. Mm-hmm. Both these coaches are like, hey, man, Ryan Day, you've lost to Michigan.
Yeah.
And Oregon, you've lost to Washington, right? I mean, it's like one of these things where both these teams got to do something today. It's a big test for both.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to be a homer, even though it's going to be tough. I'm going with Ohio State. I know that pains you, Terry, when somebody actually knows something about the game.
He spoke for a minute,
That's what
16
I'm talking
seconds.
about. That's pretty simple for me.
Yeah,
I'm going Oregon.
Yeah, that makes two of us. Yeah, thanks, Tom. That was that. I appreciate the in-depth analysis, but it went over a minute.
Neither one of you know anything about either one of the teams.
We know.
I know Ryan Day and Chip Kelly are working together.
I know when you talk too much, I'm taking the opposite.
Well, I'm just telling you, man. A minute and 16 seconds. Chip talks a minute and 16 seconds like every time we speak. So why is it unusual if I speak for a minute and 16 seconds about my team, which I'm supposed to know about?
Well, you did good, Tom. That's why y'all lose.
I think
going
Tom
out
did
there.
great. He broke it down exactly like I asked him to, so I can walk down the hall.
That's right. Thank you, Kevin.
I'm not saying he did a bad job. I'm just saying based on experience.
So Chip of all people times me for a minute and 16 seconds. Chip of all people.
We'll put him on the clock.
I put Chip on the clock. I mean, you could probably run out the rest of the show if you just ask him about Garrett Cole.
Hey, Tom, it takes me a minute 16 seconds to sign off of broadcast. That's Kevin about that last
night. It took him 7 minutes.
That's what I'm saying, man.
It was 7 minutes from the time I thought they were
That's what I'm
hanging up.
saying. Why is he criticizing me and timing me when it takes him 7 minutes to thank everybody for the broadcast? Chip, we like you. You're not in danger of losing your job, okay? It's like, let me make sure I thank everybody, or it might be JP on the play-by-play.
Will got him, though. He thanked everybody but his wife. So
Yeah.
Just be thankful I didn't start going into my kids.
So did y'all get the picks?
Yeah, we got that
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
That
Okay.
took forever, but we got
It
it.
took a minute and 16 seconds.
So Ole Miss will be at LSU today. So none of these teams call themselves the real name. So Mississippi will be at Louisiana State today.
Yep.
How about that? Mississippi's favored by 3.5 on the road in Baton Rouge.
Lane Kiffin ain't going to win in Baton Rouge. No. Give me LSU.
Terry?
There's where you're wrong. Lane Kiffin's one of the best coaches they are in college football. Lane Kiffin does win.
Just
at
ask
LSU.
Lane Kiffin.
It's just so funny. These guys, like, he ain't going to win. It's like, so what's that based on? Whoa, just Lane Kiffin?
Yeah.
Well, do you take LSU then?
No, I'm taking Lane Kiffin on the road. I mean, it's just like, I think that LSU's a little shaky, some of their games. I mean, I think that Ole Miss did get upset one game, but I like Lane Kiffin's chances here. He's a Nick Saban disciple, right? Is that what we call him? He's a Nick Saban.
I don't know if I'd call him a disciple.
They're not exactly.
They're not buddy.
Are we ready for the next one?
Yes, feed me.
Iowa State at West Virginia. Cyclones, number 11, only favored by 3 on the road in Morgantown, Tommy.
They have screwed me so many times, West Virginia.
Yes. I agree with you. I was thinking the same thing.
You know what? They're one of the states that lost an electoral vote because the state is so bad, people leave. So you're going to lose today, West Virginia. I'm not picking you anymore.
I'm sorry.
We're going with Iowa State.
I'm sorry. Who was complaining about analysis?
Call your complaints and hotlines from West Virginia into Taunton to 704.
Somerville's nice.
Somerville, South Carolina.
No, Somerville, West Virginia, and the lake there, it's very nice. But the rest of the state, you can have it. No, West Virginia
Okay,
loses.
I'm taking Iowa State.
Go ahead, take Iowa
There is
State.
a big sign that says home of Jerry West up there.
Yeah.
Give me Iowa State.
Okay.
I stopped there. I stopped in Morgantown on the way to Ohio.
I boycott. I do not purchase anything in the state of West Virginia because I'm so mad about paying the tolls on I-77.
Okay.
I gas up in Virginia and I just go straight through.
Yeah.
All right, 3.5-point favorite, the Kansas State Wildcats in Colorado. The Buffaloes, Dion and the boys. They might have 2 top 10 picks sitting in his on his locker room though with Travis Hunter and Shador. Who you got today, Chip?
Man. Wow.
It's $165 to watch Kansas State and Colorado, but it was $16 for USC and whoever they're
The
playing.
Dion effect, man.
Yeah.
What you got, Chip?
Give me Kansas State. Stick with the ranked team here.
Terry?
Well, here we go again because Tom's getting ready to take Colorado. That's kind of makes no sense, but I'm taking Kansas State. So go ahead and take Colorado.
Why does it make no sense? They're 4-1. They're 2-0 in the conference. They're at home.
It was a tough choice for Every time there's a big game that comes around, Dion fails, and there's another.
Well, let me tell you something, Dion, because I know you're listening.
Dion's a great player. A great player. One of the best of all time.
This is where Dion makes his mark. Dion gets a signature win
against
at home
Kansas
today.
State.
They're ranked.
Okay.
Okay, you beat Kansas
They've
State.
been. Coach Snyder put that team on the map, dude. Kansas State. They're not a blue blood, but they're a quality program. I think it's a signature win. If he gets this win and goes to 5-1, they're ranked. They're talking about going to the college football playoff, and we get to watch Dion and all his antics and everything, and it entertains people. People like it. So Colorado.
All right, so I'm trying to find the clip real quick before. Go ahead.
I ain't staying up till 11 to watch no Boise State game, so let's go ahead and pass that one.
I'm trying to find the clip because it's hilarious. Oh, here it is. Okay. Chip, go ahead and hit the audio.
It's on.
Here. All right, this is Dion on with Chad Ochocinco, and they're talking about Travis Hunter, and he's talking about he's going to come teach Travis. Chad Ochocinco is going to come teach him some stuff, okay? And so this is, this is two friends going back and forth. So all right, this is Ocho talking to Dion.
And the kind of teacher I am, I don't do it by with words. I put the cleats on and actually show. So I come out there, I route Travis' ass up, and then I lock him up.
Yeah, but what if I get mad that you routed Travis up and I put my cleats on?
You can't do nothing with 8 toes, man.
See what I'm saying? I ain't think he's gonna take the bait. Y'all ain't no good. Y'all, you know what? I'm bye. I'm going.
If you didn't know, Dion only has 8 toes right now, but because had to have him amputated.
Yeah.
But Chad with the shot there, you can't guard him by 8 toes. All right, back to Colorado. All right, next game. That was our top 12. Terry, how many is that?
8.
All right, you need 3 more.
Well, that's what we usually do.
Okay.
But last week you cut us to 9.
Golly, I hate to break your heart sometimes.
I'm telling you.
Georgia Tech favored by 3.5 in Chapel Hill today. Georgia Tech favored by 3.5 in Chapel Hill today. Tommy?
Well, I sat there and listened to North Carolina blow a 20-point lead against Duke. They're in a game last week. They can't pull it out against Pittsburgh. I mean, it's just like, can this Carolina team win a game with Coach Mac Brown? I'd say Georgia Tech. I just have no faith in Carolina right now.
I want to pick Carolina so bad right now, and good gracious, they got to. At this point, the season's a bust. So there's no
WCSL,
pressure on them.
92.9 FM.
But
hold on, there we go.
But yeah, I'm like you, Tom. I just have no faith in them. Mac's lost the locker room. I think it's the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, I'm the same way, guys. When I watch Carolina play, they got a lot of talent. But can you put it all together to finish a game? And they have not done that in the last couple of years. I'm also taking Georgia Tech.
The Orange go to Raleigh today. Carter Finley, NC State hosting Syracuse. Syracuse favored by 3 in Raleigh. Chip?
Man, I can't believe the day comes and I'm going to pick NC State and not pick Carolina in the same week, but I'm picking the Wolfpack.
Go ahead, Tom.
What has the Wolfpack done against quality opponents? Nothing. Wake Forest beats them last week. I mean, come on. Syracuse is going to win this game.
Well, I'm going to tell you the truth. I sat there last week when State was playing, and then I heard the cardinal sin of an announcer from North Carolina State saying, and State's got this game under control. They lead 30-20. And I'm like, we're in the third quarter. And I was right then, I knew we were in trouble. Then Wake Forest comes back and scores 2 touchdowns and ends up beating us 34-30. State defensive, really, Syracuse is going to win at North Carolina State.
All right, last one. Louisville at Virginia. Louisville 7.5-point favorites on the road, Chip.
Virginia doesn't have that quarterback. It doesn't have Crest quarterback yet. I'm going with Louisville.
Louisville. Also, these were the little guys who went to play the Chickens. A couple weeks ago, Tom said Coastal would win, and it didn't happen. Here comes Louisville up to Virginia. Louisville, really competitive ACC team against a non-competitive Virginia team in the last few years. You got your chance right here, but Louisville wins.
All right, folks, that's it for our college football picks. We'll be back for NFL picks on KDCBroadcasting.com. Did I skip you?
Well, it could be in your refrigerator or freezer. If you win the Where's the Beef contest, we'll be giving away $1,000 in beef from Morris Supermarket and Broad River Hams in Shelby. You could win up to $1,000 in beef. Register today at one of our local participating merchants, including at Parker Family Feed on Highway 18 North in Bellwood, at H&M Industries on West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, at Hojo Outdoor Power on Gregg Street in Shelby, at Alley's Cafe on Highway 180 North of Shelby, at Bruner's Automotive on East Main Street in Cherryville, at Marburger Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, at Eric Johnson Auto Sales on the Tryon Courthouse Road in Cherryville, at Orr's Supermarket and Broad River Hams on East Marion Street in Shelby, at the Great Outdoors, Highway 150 East in Cherryville, at Cummings Furniture, West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, and at Family Auto on Highway 74 Bypass East in Shelby. Register today. The drawing will be held on Friday, November 1st.
Where's the beef?
It's a fantastic fun fall sale at Abernathy's Chevrolet Buick GMC on East Main Street in Lincoln. Now's the time to buy and save, like up to $8,000 in savings on the new Chevy Silverado and GMC Sierra. See the lineup of Buick SUVs, also the Trax and Trailblazers. And the 2025 Chevrolet Equinox is in stock waiting for you. And don't forget about the Car Bravo pre-owned vehicles. Drive with confidence and save big now during the fantastic fun fall sale at Abernathy's Chevrolet Buick GMC, 1445 East Main Street, Lincoln. Online at abernathychevrolet.com.
The green flag is out. We're underway. Tyler Reddick with a big jump.
Chase Elliott looks below Christopher Bell. They'll go side by side through turn number 8.
Kyle Busch on the outside had some momentum coming off the banking. He'll have to now tuck in behind A.J. Allmendinger.
A.J. Allmendinger will look to the inside.
It's the Bank of America Roval 400 at Charlotte Motor Speedway, Sunday, October 13th at 1 p.m.
On Carolina Country WCSL, 92.9 FM, 1590 AM, online at kdcbroadcasting.com.
Get ready for Halloween with a stop-in at This and That Trading Post in Dallas. Light-up Halloween pictures are $6.25. There's a large variety of metal Halloween stands starting at $13. 50-foot drop cords are $22.50. 100-foot drop cords are $42.50. This and That Trading Post has candy cane flickering candles for $11. 3D beauty cases are $6.50. Microban sanitizing spray is $2.25 a can. Radio-controlled supercars are $19.75. And Trump pictures are $5.50. Hats $3, flags $3. Get your winter gloves, toboggans, and socks starting at $1 at This and That Trading Post, 3857 Dallas High Shoals Road in Dallas, right across from the trade lot.
It's Country Gold with Steve Harmon.
Thursday afternoons at 1 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.9 FM, 1590 AM, and online at kdcbroadcasting.com.
Be ready for leaf season with a new blower or mulching mower from Boyd Tire and Appliance in Clover. Check out the line of steel blowers, trimmers, and chainsaws, backpack blowers too, and see their selection of John Deere, Gravely, and Aaron's mowers. And right now, get 0% financing for up to 36 months on Gravely mowers. That's Boyd's Tire and Appliance, 110 North Main Street in Clover. Online at BoydTireandAppliance.com and see their page at What'sUpShopper.com.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin in the game.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
we have audio from the future leader of the Cleveland Browns.
So I think Texas receivers, I feel like they're different, but Mike is different. Mike is from Galveston. I always tell this to people. And this is something that me and my trainer talk about a lot. If you are born around water, you have a different way of life. You function differently. And I just feel like you function differently because water has no soul. You know, it doesn't discriminate against anybody. You get in that water, it's going to take you wherever it goes.
Yeah.
So I feel like people that are around water, they are very strong-willed. They're one with water. You know what I'm saying? And Mike is from Galveston. If you've been to Galveston, Galveston's known for, I don't know what they're known for because I'm not from there, but I know they have a beach. You know what I'm saying? And it's not a pretty beach.
No, they're known for oil. There's it's some of the dirtiest sand in America.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
But it's not a pretty beach. So Mike is from that muck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It might be oil muck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's still muck. So I think Texas receivers, I feel like they're different, but Mike is different.
Terry, have you ever heard a better breakdown of wide receivers in your life?
I have nothing to say.
I love it, man. I love it. Put him in right now. Put him in right now.
Maybe that's the reason Cleveland's like 1-4.
Another reason they're 1-4 is because he's not playing.
Exactly. That's a bad thing.
Oh, that hurts.
Put him in.
Tom's look just compounds it. It's
next.
Oh my gracious!
What's wrong, Tom?
Nothing. It's just embarrassing. Calvin's listening at home, and the Cleveland Browns are named for Paul Brown. He was the coach at Ohio State, and then the coach of the Cleveland Browns. And they're formed in 46, so they named the team after the coach. So that's why they're called the Browns, after Paul Brown, in case you're wondering. And that's why the Bengals look like the Browns, because when Paul Brown went to Cincinnati, he kind of made a clone of the Browns. So that explains the orange helmets in Cincinnati. So that is a Brown, someone who is the named after the coach. The only team that I know of that's named after the coach. You know anybody else who is? I don't know any others.
The Charlotte Bobcats.
Did somebody tell you to identify the Cleveland Browns?
Calvin Hastings, the person who signed your paychecks.
Tom, the Bobcats were named after the owner. Bob Johnson named the team. He named him after himself. Welcome to Charlotte.
In case you forget, and it's actually Teresa that wanted to know, so she's the one that signs your check every week.
She is the one. That's right.
So like when you get a text from Calvin and Teresa, like Calvin called me about a certain team who gives us a hard time every now and then. Sometimes we want to do a broadcast. So when Calvin calls, you answer the phone, Terry. Maybe if you knew that, you might have got promoted. You've been at this station for like 20 years.
All right, so here's Jameson warm-ups getting ready this week for this week's game, just in case he has to get in.
Can we just predict the games? Can we just predict?
He was dancing to Michael Jackson.
A cheerleader.
He was dancing to Michael Jackson.
Watch him when he walks away.
Can we just predict the games?
Look like a fairy.
No, we can't. Is Nick Chubb going to play or not?
I've seen the rumors. It doesn't matter.
He's projected to score 7 points.
I mean, unless Jesus Christ is starting a quarterback this week, I don't see the Browns. I don't see him winning another game this
year. He can't hit a curveball, but he can throw out of the pocket.
I just don't see him. I don't know. I mean, with Nick Chubb, it's one of these things that we are not doctors, okay? So we can't say when this kid's ready to play. Well, I shouldn't call him a kid. It's grown.
Good
man.
Lord.
Tom.
We
don't.
That's a man.
Yeah, we don't know when he's going to be ready to play. I mean, it's easy for us to say, "Hey, Nick Chubb, get out there and play. What's wrong with you?" We're not doctors.
Is this week in practice?
Yes, he squats 650 pounds, Terry.
I mean, it looks good there, and they could do miracles. You know what I mean?
If he can squat 650, he can do whatever he wants. That's my point. Tom, you don't go up and get under 650 pounds and squat it, and then be like, I can't.
Kevin,
play.
would you want to be on the field?
My knee's not good.
Would you want to be on the field?
It's amazing.
Oh, with what? With Deshaun Watson?
No, I'm asking right now. But is this Nick Chubb's last year? Would you want to go out there? Yeah.
He's gonna. No, it's not his last year.
No, it's not.
I mean, that's why I'm asking. They're 1-4. Why should I go out there?
Well, you can come out there and make them
2-4,
12-4.
Yeah.
Because you're getting paid millions of dollars.
Well, I understand every bit of that, but that's how players start thinking. And that's when I was asking, is he on his last year? I'd be sitting back too, saying, I'm not going out there. We're terrible.
He's practicing, so I don't know if he's going to end up playing.
I mean, I
this
hope
week.
he plays because they are one of the biggest disappointments in the NFL right now of all the teams that's in there, because everybody thought Cleveland would be at the top, and they're on the bottom, and that's where they're going to stay.
All right. We can pick some games. Let's go see what we got. We got to get out of here quick as we can on these. Nothing too too much. I got it in the NBA somehow real quick. All right, tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. from London. All right, from London will be Jacksonville and the Bears. Bears favored by 1 in London. Terry?
On this, man, who cares who wins over there? But anyway,
apparently the Jets owner cares if the Jets win over there.
I'm taking Jacksonville.
Chip, who you got?
Trevor Lawrence looked really good last week. I think he's riding the heater. Let's go with Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars.
Trevor Lawrence is on a heater. Okay, give me the Bears.
Both these teams are god awful.
They're not. Bears are 3-2. Williams is playing better. Defense is pretty good in Chicago. They're not garbage.
They're garbage.
They're not.
All right,
garbage.
so they're garbage. So we're going to pick the Jaguars. Terry.
So you picked the long-haired quarterback after over and over again. You said a long-haired quarterback can never win, but now you're going to pick him.
Never win a Super
Never
Bowl.
win a Super Bowl.
He can beat. He can beat another quarterback who paints his fingernails in London.
I know.
Like, it's two girls. One of these girls got to win, Tom. One of these ladies is going to win this football game. I'm going the one that's been playing longer, to be honest.
No one's ever going to accuse this show of being woke. I'll say that.
Cardinals at Packers this week. Packers favored by 5.5, Tom.
Well, it's kind of up and down. It's hard to predict.
Yeah.
Give me the Packers at home.
Green Bay.
I'm going to go with the Packers. The Cardinals, watch out for the upset. Cardinals have looked sharp, but I'm going to go with Green Bay.
Green Bay Packers. I hate doing that. Colts at Titans. Titans 1-3. Colts 2-3. Tennessee favored by 2.5 at home. Tom, more garbage quarterback play. In this one.
Let's go with garbage. Joe Flacco's playing for the Colts, right?
Oh, if he's playing, then watch excellence.
Give me the Colts.
Terry?
Titans.
I'm going to quote Terry here. That's a loser right there. Whether it's Richardson or Flacco playing, I like the Colts.
I'm going to be on bad picks with this one, too, with what I'm about to say. Ain't picking whoever's playing for the Titans against Joe Flacco, baby. Texans at the Patriots. Anybody taking a flyer on the Patriots?
No.
Terry?
No, Houston.
Tommy?
Nope.
All right, Texans across the board for that one. I thought we might. This might be a good one. Bucks and Saints might be the best game of the week here. 2-3, 3-2. It'd be entertaining at least. Chip, what you got in this one?
Carr's out, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
strained oblique.
Baker's proven me wrong so far. I'm going to go with the I thought he was going to have a slump this year, but let's go with the Buccaneers.
I'm going with Tampa Bay.
Yeah, Bucks.
I'll go the Buccaneers as well. All right, Tommy, 9.5-point dogs in Philadelphia today.
Is that all?
That's all.
The Eagles.
Eagles.
Now, and I'm asterisk list Nick Chubb plays, but nah, I'll give him one. We'll go Eagles on that one. If Chubb plays, it's a different team, man.
Is.
It ain't the same. Yeah. Commanders and Ravens.
This is a fun matchup.
Battle of Maryland. Terry, who you got in this one?
Ravens.
Favored by 6.5. Chip.
Yeah, I like Daniels. I've said that all season, but man, yeah, he's going up against the best mobile quarterback in the game maybe ever. Let's go with the Ravens.
Tell you, the Ravens defense is a little up and down. Commanders are playing good football right now. They're playing with house money, kind of like Detroit in baseball. I think Commanders in an upset.
That's not a bad pick.
I'll go Baltimore Ravens, Terry. Chargers at Broncos. Chargers favored by 3, Chip.
Yeah, almost. I can't pick. I can't get behind Bo Nix yet. He's starting to look decent, but I can't pick him. I'm going with the Chargers. Surely the goodness Harbaugh saw some of their plays previously.
Yeah, I'm sure he got Connor Stallions to infiltrate him. Let's go with the Chargers. Broncos 3-2 though. How about that?
That's exactly
I know.
right.
Yeah,
Getting ready to go to 4-2 as they beat the Chargers.
Oh God, Terry, I hate you saying stuff like that. I'm gonna go to Chargers on this one. I don't trust Bo Nix yet. Who knows? Steelers at Raiders. Terry, you picked the Raiders lost last week. They're gonna lose again at the Raiders.
Steelers lost 2 straight.
Yeah, they have, but they'll bounce back this week because they're playing nobody. Steelers.
Yeah, Minshew's been benched. I think the Steelers just ran into a good Cowboys team. Steelers win.
Yeah, Steelers.
Pittsburgh Steelers for the victory for me as well. Detroit Lions go to Cowboys this week. 3.5-point favorites are the Lions, Terry, in your house.
Wow.
That's good. I'm glad they are favored. Cowboys win. The Dallas proved last week you cannot go against them Cowboys.
The Cowboys are going to watch a team beat them this week that they wish they were. The Lions are going to win.
Tommy?
Cowboys are at home, and it is the Lions, so I think I like the Cowboys at home.
I've watched the Lions and Cowboys play a lot over the years on Thanksgiving Day, and Cowboys win about half of them, and the Lions never win, so going to go Cowboys. They never played each other, though. Falcons and Panthers, they probably did once or twice. Falcons and Panthers, Panthers, dogs by 6 at home, Chip.
Shocker. Yeah, Falcons.
Yeah, Falcons.
Yeah, Falcons for me.
Atlanta Falcons for the win, although Dalton.
That shot of adrenaline, that was Andy Dalton starting to wear off a little bit. They got Panthers have a lot of injuries too. So.
Well, they showed the Jalen. What's the new kid at Commanders?
Jaden Daniels.
Daniels. They showed his pass chart. It's like 90% to the right side of the field. We're in week 5. NFL teams are about to figure that out and shut that down immediately. So I'm just warning you on those Commanders picks coming up in the next few weeks. Bengals and Giants. Cincinnati favored by 3.5 in New York. Tommy.
Bengals go in there and get the win, even though the Giants have the better record.
Terry?
Yeah, that's me also. I wonder how the Giants have won 2 games.
Yeah,
But,
well, they played Cleveland. That always helps.
You just brought that up to my attention, Tom, and that shocked me. I couldn't believe that the better record. I'm going the Bengals.
I saw the Bengals in person win their only game over the Panthers, and I thought they looked pretty decent. Burrow looked good.
If they could hold for a field goal, they'd have 2 and 3.
I don't think they can guard anybody because they gave up points to Panthers. But the offense looked good.
Trent Marty went up there and jinxed them.
Yeah, I need you to travel to East Rutherford then if you watch their first win. Here, I'll pick the Bengals.
Okay. All right, Bills at
Who'd you
Jets.
pick?
Bengals.
The Jeff Ulbrich era begins in New York.
Bills at Jets. Jets.
Bills have not played well lately.
I believe the Bills will win this one.
I'm also going Buffalo. They're going to show them that they should have kept the coach.
I'll go against grain a little bit. The New York Jets shows why Aaron Rodgers should be the coach. Jets.
He is.
Yeah. Can't be a weirdo and be a quarterback or a coach. But the Bills have not played well. It's they've got a new offensive coordinator. It's just not worked out. Like you know what Kevin says. You get a couple of weeks of tape and I see what they're doing, and then all of a sudden they're having a hard time.
Who you pick?
I already told you the Jets. Listen,
I know. That's what I'm saying.
He started to go on a little bit. I'm gonna go with the Bills.
That's what I figured.
Tom Deshaun Watson has settled more lawsuits, 23, than touchdown passes since been traded to the Browns.
Well, that's the last thing. The lawsuit was settled, so of course, here's your $1 million. Sign the NDA. Now the league can't investigate it unless there's another way around it. We're stuck with this, and it's still going to be like a dead cap hit as like some ridiculous number. I can't remember, like $70 or $80 million that he has screwed the franchise. They've already lost the picks. And just Haslam has to admit, you're a billionaire, but you're not a football mastermind.
Real quick, the out on this is I saw the other day on TV is a team like the Panthers with like 60, 70 million in cap space. What they can do is offer a trade for Watson. They'll take the cap hit. Browns pay for it because they need the cap to come off the cap. The Panthers eat like 70 million of that, and then they just release him. But you have to give up first or second round pick for it too. So you have to trade Watson and a first or second round pick for free, basically. And the Panthers, or I can't remember, there was like 3 teams that have the cap room to be able to just take up a crap ton of money on it and do it. And that's how you get rid of Watson. And the only way you can get rid of any of it. Last thought, Jose Canseco wished everyone safe during the hurricane, except one guy.
Golly.
I don't know what to say. We'll be back next week, KDCBroadcasting.com.